On this episode of Playlog, we're talking about the Humble Games Layoffs, the new Castle Crashers DLC, and some underrated indie games that you should check out. Hey guys, CGDannyB back again with another episode of Playlog, the podcast where we talk all things indie gaming. And of course, I can't talk indie games alone because that is boring. So I've got my partner in crime, the Play Nice Kid themselves, Tofr. Tofr, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, especially since we're joined by someone.
I didn't even give me a chance. I'm not going to transition right into it. I just said fuck in the first probably 30 seconds. It's fine. We're fine. We don't need monetization. And of course, as Tofr mentioned, we do have a special guest with us today. If you're watching the video version, you see there is a mysterious third window on the screen. This is our first full episode guest. Congratulations and welcome, the Indie Maniac. How are we doing today, Doug?
Doing pretty good. Happy to be here.
Absolutely. We talked a couple times back and forth on Twitch. We streamed Chain together this past weekend, and we were just like, yeah, we got to bring you on and talk about whatever. And this week we were like, let's talk about underrated indie games. You were all gung-ho on that, and we put it all together. We're in that fun little space now. But now you're tethered.
Chain together this weekend.
Oh, good time's a word for it.
Interesting time.
Yeah. It was, no, the game's a blast. I didn't think to put it on the list of things to talk about, but yeah, we could even talk about Chain together. Yeah, no, the game's really fun. Frustrating. Kanai and I have been through the ringer of the frustrating climbing games. We've done Bread and Fred. We love that one. So great. And then adding it to 4-player made it more frustrating and challenging, but it's still a blast. It's a great game. But before we get into the actual show, don't forget, as part of our podcast, we will do a monthly book club where you'll get to we'll go back and replay some of the classic indie games, or finally get around to some modern ones that we just haven't played yet. For this month of August, we'll be reviewing Kentucky Route Zero, a magical realistic adventure game about a secret highway running through the caves beneath Kentucky and the mysterious folks who travel it. So if you want to get involved in the episode, play the game this month, head over to our write-in form in the description and give us your thoughts on Kentucky Route Zero for our August 27th episode of Playlog Podcast. Another one we did, Night in the Woods. Was that last week? Oh, that feels so long ago.
That was last week.
Shit, it feels like a month ago, man. But yeah, we'll be doing Kentucky Route Zero the month after. As we finish that episode, Tofr will pick our next one and back and forth. I think I know what our next one is already, and we're just gonna have to hang around for a couple months to find out. Always teasing, always keeping them ready for the future content. Bam, okay, the timestamp button doesn't work. Fuck me sideways. This is great. We love it. Now I gotta do manual timestamps this episode. Anyway, now we break the ice. Remember, you can write into the show with your questions about gaming, content creation, life, and more. Just like Phantom Composer writes in and asks, what's one indie game you think you could survive in with only one life? All right, if you got an answer yet. She also wrote into this for the Boss Rush podcast. If you guys haven't seen that episode, I was on that a couple weeks ago. Check that out. But she wrote in, I already answered this question. I'm going to pick a different game. But either of you got an answer yet? A game you can survive with one life.
Is this like a scenario where we die in the real game, we die in real life?
I think the way we said it is that...
Or is it we're actually playing it?
I imagine you're in the game. You are being teleported into the game. You now exist in whatever universe this is. Whatever game it is, boom, you're thrown into it.
Oh, God.
So I'll say I cheaped out the first time and I went with Arcade Paradise. I'm I can run an arcade in a laundromat, no problem. So
Can you even die in that game?
No. Well, I mean, not in the game, but I'm getting isekai'd here. I'm getting thrown into the world. I now live in this world. It is my reality now. So I'm assuming becoming my reality, I can die, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but in the game proper, no, you don't die. But
yeah, because what I was thinking is there's a bunch of games that you play and you don't die at all. So I was thinking I could do a short hike.
There you go.
I'll climb a mountain.
There you go. Get it?
I was thinking like depending on my video game skills, I wouldn't survive in a single game.
I feel that. I feel that.
I was thinking about I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3 with my friend Daphne.
Okay.
And, she would confirm that I would not survive in any game. And then I think about my real life survival skills, and my answer would be the same.
So, fair enough. There you have it.
I would not survive. Maybe Night in the Woods.
There you go. Well,
like that
listen. After last week's episode, there's some crazy people in that town. I'm afraid. Spoiler: you might go in the hole, my friend. And I hope not.
Yeah,
but
you might get murdered there.
Not anymore. Like I get into the game world after the events of the game.
Yeah, now you're thinking.
If you're allowed to do that, that is, though.
Honestly, I didn't see any rules. I wanted an indie game you think you survive in with only one life. So take it as you will. I will let you timeline hop. You hop in whenever you want.
It's the age of the multiverse. We can do whatever we want.
It sure is, dude. Especially after seeing Deadpool this weekend. Let's fucking go, baby. Anyway,
I'm gonna see that this upcoming weekend.
Dude, enjoy. It's such a fucking blast. Smiling the entire time.
I've heard such good things.
Yeah, hi from the internet. They're spoiling shit out there. They need to fucking slow down over there.
I've seen some spoilers already. But
Tell them to stop.
I tried, but
I'm sorry.
They don't listen.
They don't. Hooligans. It's all right. Just listen to Bye 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 like me. That's just the only spoiler you need. I won't cheat. I'll answer too because I did Arcade Paradise in the other episode. But I also thought about doing Tiny Sticker Tail. Was that the right one? Tiny Sticker. Tiny Sticker Tail. Yes, from the guys over at Ogre Pixel, the ones who made Lonesome
Villager.
Lonesome Villager, there it is. That's the one I haven't played. I backed Tiny Sticker Tail on Kickstarter. Really cute where you just like put stickers in a book and then place them around the map. And I find it hard to die in that one, so we're good. I'll take that one.
I don't know if it's a cop-out that we're all picking games that we can't die in, but...
All I'm saying is Phantom didn't say we couldn't cop out, so fight me, Phantom. If you're listening.
Lonesome Village, not
Lonesome Village. Okay, cool. Yeah. It's the one I'm like, I know I've seen it. I could picture the cover art. And I'm just like, I haven't played it yet. I couldn't tell you the name. But yeah, bet. Let us know in the comments which game you could survive in. You could be a little more badass if you want. Personally, it probably could have been Cuphead for me, but
I don't know about that one.
Well, all I'm saying is I've beaten the game many a time. I might be muscle memory at this point. I might be good. I might be solid. But now we should move on to the indie news this week. Crazy story here that dropped right after we finished last week's podcast. I've got this one from Robin B over at Inverse. Humble Games restructuring shows there's no easy answer to gaming layoff crisis. There's a lot to read here. So I would recommend you guys check out the article for yourself. I'm going to just read a little bit of the info here. Humble Games, which is owned by IGN's parent company, Ziff Davis, I'm not sure you pronounce it, announces the layoffs with a social media post so impersonal and vague that some suspect that is written by an AI. At the very least, it's clear the product of the company that just fired everyone who knows what they're doing. The statement cites challenging economic times as the reason for its alleged restructuring. A decision, it says, was made with goal of ensuring the stability and support of our developers and ongoing projects. And then here you can see the tweet. It's like in these challenging economic times for indie game publishing, Humble Games has made the difficult but necessary decision to restructure our operations. This decision was not made lightly. It involved much deliberation and careful thought with the goal of ensuring the stability, something about the company, etc. So in a nutshell, they start off by saying we're restructuring, we're going to do what's best for everybody on the team, to then follow up with the actual employees being like, no, this morning we found out we don't have jobs. They're gone. All 36, I believe, 36 Humble Games employees just laid off like that. Shit sucks. This sucks a lot.
It does.
Yeah.
Since they had a few games that were going to be coming out, so no one knows what's going on.
Quite a few. I think here
On the Trail is one of them that I was playing.
That's a fun one. I really like the demo for that.
It's such a good game.
I'll pop back in because I think this is another part of the article I probably should have read here. Steve Horwitz acknowledged that a third-party company called the PAL Group will be handling operations moving on. The PAL Group is a consulting agency that previously worked with previous developers like Night Dive Studios and NetEase Games. So, of the upcoming Humble Games that we know are coming out, Wizard of Legend 2, On Your Tail. I know there's a couple other ones that I probably have to pull up the website here. Those will be handled with PAL Group moving forward. However, this didn't help a lot of their like recent releases. Tofr, I know you and I both retweeted for Bow Path of the Teal Lotus they basically came out to then have their publishing company close down. So they have no one doing like their marketing at the moment. So it's come to a lot of other devs like retweeting on Twitter, like, hey, be sure to check out our friend's game. Like, this game's really cool. Be sure to check it out. I haven't started yet. I'm starting it on Saturday for stream. But like, I feel so bad because that game feels like it had marketing until the moment it really needed it. And then it's like, yeah, the company who does it's gone. We don't really worry about that.
What was that game called again?
Bo Path of the Teal Lotus.
Oh, I've seen that one.
Yeah, it's very like Nine Souls-esque Metroidvania art style wise. Yeah.
They had such good marketing too.
Yeah, they had great trailers, great art. And then Humble Games is to give a list of what's upcoming for them yet. That's gonna move over to PAL Group is Billy Bust Up, Breeze in the Clouds, Lost Skies, Monaco 2, Never Alone 2, On Your Tail, and then Wizard of Legend 2 are the listed upcoming games. And then I'll even just jump back here real quick. This is the catalog of Humble Games. Like, they are not slacking. We've got Wizard of Legends, Void Bastards, Unpacking, Wild at Heart, Stray Gods, Slay the Spire, Signalis. The list goes on. Forager. There's Dodgeball Academia, one of my freaking favorites. They've published a lot of amazing indie games. And just seeing, not knowing anybody personally on the team over at Humble Games, just seeing this kind of fall apart so quickly and all these people lose their jobs and then not have the support for all these studios trying to continue to advertise their games. It's just another like shitty situation in the industry right now. I fucking hate it.
Absolutely. And I read somewhere that like, for example, Coral Island just had its 1.1 update that finally finishes the story of the game.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Humble is responsible for the console ports. And now they have no idea what's going to happen.
You know, I think I saw like the picture. I kind of scrolled past it, not thinking about it real quick, but I guess that's on PAL Group now, which I don't know what that translates to. I don't know if that, hopefully that means we still get these console ports if they're like already in production or already like partway done, but I'd hate to see that get prolonged.
I mean, the crappy part with that is they did a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
So they promised people a console version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sure like to hope that it'll still go through. I'm sure in some universe, like, it's still going to happen. I just think back to cases like, oh God, Mr. Coup. I forget the full title of the game.
Yeah.
But that had some weird, like, console version wasn't ready. They quickly just slapped it onto whatever PlayStation, Xbox versions were available and then just sent it. And I guess, like, some of the chapters wouldn't load right or wouldn't function. And the dev's like, by the way, I did the PC one, worked fine. I said the new one wasn't ready. And they kept pushing it. Same thing happened to the Outbound Ghost, which is one I was super excited for. I got a key for PlayStation and then couldn't play it. Literally, there's a spot where it just like buffers the save and then you die and reset. And I want to go back and play that game, very Paper Mario-esque RPG, but the console version doesn't work. And now it's in a weird lawsuit loop where it can't happen. So fingers crossed the Coral Island version for consoles is a lot smoother than that. I'm really praying.
I hope so. It's a really good game. I wanted to get back into it, especially with the new update. And now I'm gonna like hurry and play it before whatever news happens.
Yeah.
Is it on Game Pass already? Because I think I have it on Game Pass.
Coral Island?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
We're about to find out. Game Pass, great place. Thank you. Appreciate
They
it.
also made a lot of money on that Kickstarter. I was part of it. They made so much money.
Hell yeah. We love to see it.
They made like over $1 million.
Fuck yeah. It was, you know what their starting goal was?
It was insane. Like they way passed their goal.
I love it. I love to see it.
Coral Island is on Game Pass.
Woo! I assume. Is that the 1.0 version then? Is that a?
Could be.
It might be behind. Xbox is sometimes behind with that.
Yeah, I never know if it was like the PC one is now 1.0, but also they're the Game Pass one that I guess is just the Xbox version on PC, but it's PC Game Pass. I assume it'll be, if not 1.0 yet, soon. Bet. Yeah, I hope these the teams over here find a new place to work, something good for them. Like, this industry is so volatile lately. It's tough to, I think I would say for the last couple of months has been a lot of like the AAA industry has just kind of been falling apart with some indies kind of sprinkled in there. This probably isn't the first big one for indies, but it is a huge one, seeing that I would say Humble Games is probably on a similar level to like a Devolver. and seeing like Humble Games just be shut down out of nowhere. Yeah.
Did you guys hear about Versus Evil?
I've not.
Versus Evil is like an indie publisher.
Okay.
They got absorbed by tinybuild, and then tinybuild just shut them all down.
Oh, how long ago was this?
Oh, God.
That was because I was in their creator program.
Yeah.
And they were telling everyone, "Oh, we're just shutting down now. Everybody's out of a job."
Good Lord.
And then tinybuild took all their IPs.
See,
that was a bit ago. That was like months.
Okay.
I just forget when.
Yeah, I don't recall hearing about that one. It's one of the ones that like I pull up the Versus Evil website, like it's still there, powered by indies. I would assume this would be if they were
it's
absorbed.
probably being run by tinybuild now.
Yeah, I'd say if they were absorbed by tinybuild, I could totally see that being like a excuse me. We're brought in, keep the same employees, and just convert it all to tinybuild as opposed to having like the two entities. But that would appear to not be the case. Obviously, I don't have that info in front of me.
At first, it was like all the people were there.
Yeah.
And then after a few months, they were like, "Oh, we're shutting down." Because I knew people in the PR, and they were just like, "Yeah, we're out of a job now. We have to look for new jobs."
That's the worst. I hate that so much.
I think they all have found jobs now, though, so that's good.
Good. Hopefully stable ones. In this industry, it is tough. It is hard right now.
Terrible lately.
We hope and dream for our teams here to get some stuff, and that the rest of these indie devs can continue to have at least a similar level, if not a better level of support than they've had with Humble so far, leading into up to their releases. But maybe on a little happier note, timestamp for verbal whatever. After 16 years, Castle Crashers is getting new DLC. This one is from Vicky Blake over at Eurogamer. 12 years after its first release on Steam and 16 years after its debut on Xbox Live Arcade, Castle Crashers is getting new DLC. Premium DLC Painter Boss Paradise not only includes new player and weapon artwork for all of the official characters and new character, official artwork for all the official characters and new character Paint Jr., but it also adds Steam Workshop functionality so players can create and share their own skins with the world. Although Castle Crashers debuted on Xbox and is still available on Sony consoles and Nintendo Switch, the DLC is only coming to Steam. Quote, "We used to be enemies, we used to destroy the world around us, now we create." Introducing the Castle Crashers Painter Boss Paradise DLC, coming soon to Steam. The team at Behemoth announced confirming players can toggle the new lick of paint on or off. And then I'll let this trailer run in the background here while
we used to be enemies.
Whoa, why are we yelling at me? Sorry, you guys couldn't hear. But yeah, you guys Castle Crashers dudes?
I hadn't heard of this game before.
You've never heard of Castle Crashers?
No, I haven't. But I'm sidetracked at the moment because it just doesn't make sense in my head that 16 years ago we already had Xbox Live Arcade.
So
16 years ago is like the Super Nintendo.
Did you hear that that shut down yesterday?
Xbox, yeah, the 360 marketplace. Yep, it sure did.
End of an era.
That was a weird one. It just kind of like happened. I think normally they're like, hey, a couple months it's going down, or next year it's shutting down. I think it just, if there was news, I hadn't heard it. So, so long Xbox. But yeah, so Castle Crashers.
Tell me about Castle Crashers. Yeah.
So side-scrolling beat 'em up. This trailer does a lot more to show like the custom Steam Workshop stuff as opposed to the game. But classic Behemoth 2D beat 'em up. People grew up loving this one on the Xbox 360. I've played it a couple times. I've kind of grown away from it. I'm not so like driven to play Castle Crashers anytime soon. But this Steam Workshop update kind of has me feeling it because the updated art style is really cool. I'll run the trailer back at the beginning, but like they had this very flat 2D style to them. But now there's just more like 3-dimensional depth to them that I really, really like on the character designs. And then of course having the option to make custom character art, heads, chest piece, etc., and then import that into the game. So like I could play as like whatever kind of custom character I want within Castle Crashers. I'm like, hold on. I might dabble. I might have a good time with this. This might be fun.
You could make your gnome.
I could make my gnome. I could just make Shovel Knight. I could do that Shovel Knight.
I mean, it sounds awesome to me.
Shovel Knight? Yeah, I think this is really cool. It's one thing where like I feel like a lot of games just happen, and when they're done, they're done. I know Castle Crashers has been ported umpteen times. I assume this is part of classic Castle Crashers, not the remake / remaster or whatever they're doing with the game. But yeah, Cool. I like new stuff for old
It-
games sometimes.
It is also on sale right now for like $1. So
Oh shit! All right, hold on, chat.
you get picked up pretty cheap.
Do
I
we
think
have?
that's the remaster though. I don't know about
Okay.
the original. So on Steam, I think it's just the one version.
That's right. Because Steam kind of just update
It
as
just
we go.
lumps it together.
Okay, then that wouldn't matter. So the Cast Crasher is just the new one.
Mm.
Are we? Let me see.
And
Is
then on
through Steam
console-
it says it's on sale? I see it's still for $14.99 unless it's under a different.
It was on sale when I got it. I don't know if it's still on sale.
I can't believe it.
It was literally like $1 or like $2.
I see. Yeah, the sale might be over now. There is a bundle
Yeah,
that is Castle Crashers and Pit People for $30, which isn't too bad. Pit People is really
No,
cool.
that's not bad. That's a good game.
Hell yeah. Is that game done yet? I remember me and my buddy Kai were playing Castle Crashers like 7 years ago on Xbox Game Pass or just one of the versions, and I'm like, shit, when's this game finished?
Yeah, that was in early access for a very long time.
Yeah. Fingers crossed that one gets done too.
I haven't played it in early access, so I don't know.
Yeah, we got as far as we could in that early access and then stopped, but I guess I wouldn't say I've been following it either. They were at PAX, I don't recall them having a section for Pit People. I remember they had Alien.
They're doing
not
Alien
Invader.
Hominide right now.
Yeah.
Hominide.
Yeah. I was gonna say Alien Invasion. That's not the game. I was not a big Behemoth kid, just so everybody knows.
I really liked Battle Block Theater.
Yeah,
You've ever played that one?
a bunch of my friends are into it. I know its existence. I've seen it. It's just not one I've gotten my hands on.
You gotta play it.
You know, one of these days, I think.
It is so fun, especially
any-
co-op.
Any chance that one's $1?
I don't know.
Battle Block.
I was sent a
15.
key for that one, so
Yo, Behemoth. I'm just saying, if you want to send me a key.
they're
real
really
quick.
nice on Twitter. You might be able to get one.
Honestly, I imagine. I believe. Maybe I'll hit them up. Behemoth's cool, guys. Sponsor the show. But yeah, Castle Crashers DLC. That's always fun. New stuff, old game. And with that is our quick indie news. So on timestamp, Danny, to the topic of the show, Tofr. Last week we were discussing what we would do for this episode, what we do after the Night in the Woods, and we had both seen the Indie Council episode where they talked about underrated games in 2024. And we're just like, that'd be a cool topic. How do we kind of do that same thing without just immediately being like, let's just do the same thing? I was totally down to just be like, let's do the 2024 one. And I'll just say we got it from the Indie Council. And I get you're like, what if we just like all time under 2,000 Steam reviews? I'm like, all right, bet we can do that. So of course we brought Indie Maniac on to talk about some older, maybe even more recent games that are all under 2,000 reviews on Steam that deserve some more freaking love. I've been talking for quite a minute, so I think Tofr, how about you start us off with an underrated game that you think needs some loving?
Oh, I mentioned this one on a previous episode, but I have to pick If Found. It's the debut game from Dreamfield, and it got backed by publisher Annapurna Interactive actually. So
Okay.
I thought it would have had more eyes on it, but apparently not.
Yeah.
It's a game about Casio, a trans woman in 90s Ireland. Damn, words are hard today.
Tell me about it.
I feel that every day.
It's about her conflict with her family and the family that she finds.
Damn.
But it's also the story of Cassiopeia, an astronaut trying to prevent a black hole of destroying our planet.
Oh, that escalated. That was, I mean, like,
That took a turn.
all
Jeez.
problems are problems. I'm not taking away from the problems.
Absolutely.
We were just like, I'm trying to find myself. Also, the world's gonna explode. I'm like, oh shit, wait.
And the cool thing about this game is it's unlike any other I've played because the gameplay basically consists of erasing Cassio's diary.
Oh.
Like you read everything that happens to her, but because of the struggles that she's going through, she's erasing everything.
Okay. So
and
is this you mentioned you said trans woman, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So is it that she's like erasing the past of, you know, before transition? Is that kind of like the goal she wants to
No.
or okay.
No, it's because like it's 90s Ireland, and in Ireland back in the 90s, being trans was not a thing that you did.
Gotcha.
So it's mostly like her mother and her brother not being able to cope with her transitioning,
Yeah.
and her being unable to cope with their inability to cope.
Oh shit. This looks
Fair.
really cool, dude.
It's fantastic, and the thing is, the way the gameplay runs
Mm-hmm.
leads to this unbelievable moment of storytelling that I
Yeah.
can't spoil here because it's a giant spoiler.
Okay.
But it's so uplifting, and it works so well because of how you play the game.
Damn.
Yeah.
It looks cool. It's giving me like Florence meets When the Past Was Around, with the art style and the gameplay. That one looks really cool. I know we've talked about it before on here, and I forget the context we had when we were talking about it, but that's one I gotta make sure that's on my wish list. I need to get around to that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you should.
I never heard of it. I looked through all the games you guys had on here.
Yeah.
And every single one that I didn't hear of, I just wishlisted right away.
Good call. Good call. I have Steam
yeah.
pulled up for this whole episode now for that reason. Oh yeah. We also finding new ones. Like, total backtrack before we continue with the list and stuff. When we started the podcast, right? Like, for the longest time, I've had friends like, we could do a podcast. I'm like, I want to do an indie gaming podcast. And like, we could do that. And kind of their idea was to do, I would talk at them about what games I was playing, and they'd be like, oh, yay, yo, nay. I'm like, I don't really want to talk at someone about indie games. I want to talk with someone about indie games. I want to talk about what we're playing, why we like them. I've never played, but it reminds me of this and this, that, and the other. Like, I didn't want it to be a two-person conversation where one's just talking about these cool games. So like, in a space here where obviously now we have Indie Maniac here in this episode, but on a weekly basis where Tofr and I are like, I've heard of it, I know of it, I've played it, I've dabbled with it, not for me, and like actually have a conversation about the games. I'm like, shit, there's people to show me games that I didn't know about, and I love that. Or even like, I know some of the other ones in the list that like I know of but haven't played, so I'm excited to see you guys talk about those. I fucking love indie games. Indie games are awesome, dude.
I think with video games, it shows who the person is too.
Yes.
Like, based on what games they like, you can tell the person's personality.
Mm-hmm.
Like, looking through these, I could tell your guys' personality. I feel like.
I see, you know.
I don't know if that sounds corny or not, but I feel like it's true.
I get it. No, I see it. As I sit here and I'm just like, oh man, that's your list? What a fucking scrub. I mean, no. And that's always weird, right? Because like at any conversation, I'll like, someone's like, what do you like to play? I'm like, it sounds so cheesy, but a little bit of everything. And like,
Right.
I picked this list going through my Steam library. I'm like, let me check Steam. Not enough reviews, and doing that. But even though I sat there thinking like, I could talk about this one because I know no one's heard of it. But how like passionate am I to talk about it? So I kind of like mixed around to do that when I was making my list. But it's just hearing anyone talk about indie games they love, need more time in the sun. It's a good time. It's a fun time. Any other thoughts on it found, Tofr? Tell the people what people got to play this one because it's beautiful.
Just play it. It's okay. It gets really sad and depressing, but
Love
it's worth sticking with the game. It's not that long to finish either.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want a heartfelt story for a rainy afternoon, give this game a chance.
Absolutely, do it. Indie Maniac, this is your time to shine. First one on the show. Don't want to screw it up. What game you got for us?
I'm gonna screw it up entirely now that you said that. So I was looking through my Steam library and I was like, what games do I like the most? And are they still underrated? I had like a few.
Yeah.
And they just hit over the cusp. And I'm really surprised this one did not. It's a game called Minute. And this is a solo dev project as well.
Ooh, I didn't know that about Minute.
I think it's just the one guy because I looked it up and it's just his name on the Steam page. And I definitely saw him on Twitter before because I think he's working on other projects. In Minute, you basically have a minute to do as much as you can before you die and have to start over, which can sound annoying. And I did get annoyed at the game, but I loved it. My friend, who rages at every video game ever, was able to finish this game because he's like, I'm so mad, but I just want to see what happens. Because you just keep unlocking more. You progressively unlock the story slowly as you go because you only have a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I think the first thing you do is you try to get a sword shown in the video there, and then you just continue onwards trying to like talk to every NPC, and then there he goes, he's dead. It's only a minute, but like you can get a good amount done in a minute.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is a good game for speedrunners as well.
Oh, 100%.
Like, this is like literally the perfect game for speedrunners.
Yeah. I remember picking this one up on PlayStation a while back and like not wrapping my head around like where to go, but it's got that like classic Zelda kind of gameplay to it. And after I started playing more roguelikes, I don't know if I'd say this one's necessarily a roguelike, but it's got those tendencies. And yeah, I like fell in love with it my second go around. And I was like, cool, I know I need to go up, right, up, left, get to this room, make my new save point, 30 seconds left, die, like reset. So I know exactly where I need to go. Ended up getting the platinum last year after figuring out what I need to do with everything. But Minute's cool. Minute's fun.
It is such a unique concept I never saw before this. So I was really intrigued the moment I was like, where do I have to remember where to go? I have to remember where to go. Like the whole time, I'm like, I got to remember this. I'm very bad at remembering things, but I got to do it now.
Did you play Minute, Tofr?
No, I'm really bad with like time pressure.
Fair enough.
So just the base concept of this game gives me stress.
Anxiety.
I'm like too anxious for this one. Can't do it.
On the other hand, it looks like it could be like a hit on the Playdate.
You know, honestly, it might be. Actually, it might be really hard. Yeah, I think you could probably run Minute on the Playdate. Yo, I got new games available. Yes, I got one. Thank you very much, Pop Agenda, for sending me a Playdate.
How much are they? Because I was thinking about
$199, I believe.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a tough sell for me.
We did an episode on the Playdate, Best Games to Play. Shout out to Jacob McCourt, friend of the show. We did an episode on that. We both really love this thing, and it's one of those devices that's like, if this is a niche enough thing that you want to check out, like, go for it. I do think the $200 price point is a hard sell.
It's a little high for me, in my opinion.
I can say, as someone who received it for free and I have access to the catalog, like, I've not had to spend a cent on this, and I really enjoy it. That being said, I don't know that if I spent the $200, then like some games are $2, some games are $8. I think 8's the highest that I've seen. But even buying, we'll say 10 games at max price $8, that's like $300 for this experience, which I don't know if necessarily that's worth it to the average gamer type deal.
Right.
I'd say if an opportunity comes up, you can get a cheaper one, whatever, go for it. But
does the crank have stick drift?
So far, no. So far, no drift. It's just
that would be awful.
I'm just scrolling.
And the games are rather simplistic, so like aren't going to be that expensive.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
You're getting distracted, Danny.
I have 12 unopened games.
We're on a podcast right now. I don't know if you remember.
You asked about the Playdate, guys. Go back and watch an episode. No. I just realized I have like a bunch of games I haven't opened since that episode, so got some stuff to play later.
Nice.
But yeah, Minute. Minute's really cool. Any other thoughts on Minute before we move on?
I just think it's a great game, and I really like seeing games made by one person because I do my stuff as one person.
Sure.
And it's great to see people accomplish their goals as a single developer. That really inspires me to do what I do.
I side tangent here because I had like a TikTok that kind of blew up a little bit in the discussion. But I remember when IGN did the review of Choo Choo Charles, also made by one person.
Yeah, that was one guy.
Yeah, they gave it a 4 out of 10 because the game's not great. It's fun. But like quality wise, the characters don't talk. The environments are kind of okay, but they're not perfect. But like all the comment sections are just like, it was made by one guy. Give him some slack. It should at least be an 8 and this, that, and the other. And I was just like, should the size of the team necessarily affect like the quality of like the review and like the number on the screen? Because like, I'm like, Undertale was made by one guy, and that's a great game. I would give that a 10 out of 10. God of War was made by 400 people. I don't know how many people work to say it. Like, it's
Stardew Valley, one guy.
One guy, yeah.
One guy.
Yeah. Then people are like, he's comparing pixel art to 3D. This guy is crazy. I'm like, shut the fuck up. It's comparable.
IGN comment sections are always a war zone.
Oh yeah, so. They're a terrible place. But no, even then, I think it's always something nice to note. But I think telling people like because it's made by one person, it needs to earn like 5 extra points for that reason. Like most people aren't looking at behind the scenes. Like again, I didn't know Minute was made by one guy. I bought Minute because it looked cool, and like it being made by one person, though that's cool, didn't encourage me to say it was better or worse than it was when I played it. It's just the quality of the game. So scrubs. Yeah,
a lot of the games that I like are made by one person. Like, my top 10 list is like, oh, it's one person. Oh, it's 3 people, and I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
I'm sure there's so many I just don't even know that are like because they don't market it as that. And I was like, oh, this is made by one guy, only 2 people. But Night in the Woods was. I know there's the 3 people who are kind of average. Is it just those 3, Tofr, or do they have okay, there you go. There we have it. Great games. But now, It's my turn.
It's your turn.
There's a game, it's 2024, 2 years ago, that I really loved and I thought had more attention than it does. And that game's Tinykin. I freaking love Tinykin. So essentially you're playing as Milo. You're like a professor in what's almost just like Whoville type deal, and you're like, I'm going to explore the world and get more knowledge to teach my kids. And you go to what's just a big house, and you find these things called Tinykin, and it's essentially just Pikmin at that point. There are ones that can use electricity. There are ones that use fire, or they explode. There's ones you can build into stairs, and it's just a big exploration of like a giant house, and you're finding giant toothbrushes and shoes and goggles to try and build your rocket ship to get back home. It is such a fun time. I've platinumed this game twice on PS4 and PS5. It's so much fun. And when I saw it only had I think it's 1,500 Steam reviews. I don't have the numbers in front, but dude.
Yeah, 1,500.
I love this game. I hope we get a Tinykin too. I want more Tinykin. I'm just a sucker for I'm a sucker for the little guy in big world. So this one had me at the get-go. But sorry, man, you were saying I talked over you there.
No, you're good. I was talking over you. I had a lot of fun with this one when I played it on Game Pass. I never finished it though.
Yeah.
I was actually going to ask you if you heard of Wild at Heart because it's very similar
yes.
to the style.
I love Wild at Heart too.
That one I finished. That one was very good.
Now see, I didn't finish, but I need to do. I played it on Game Pass, and whatever came up stopped me. So Wild at Heart's one I have to go back to and finish. But yeah, I finished Tinykin twice.
Yeah, I need to go back to Tinykin. I really enjoyed it. I got distracted. A lot of games are coming out.
As we do. Tofr, you touched Tinykin yet?
I do believe that it came out at a time when there were plenty of other games releasing.
Sounds about right.
And it released on Game Pass, and I know I downloaded it on Game Pass, and I never got around to it for some reason.
That's it. We gotta change gamers. We gotta stop downloading and not playing as a whole. We need we need a
Don't
mass
look at my
army
game
people.
hard drive.
Same. I look behind the recording software. I'm sure there's a mess of things that haven't been played. Thank you guys for the codes. I appreciate it. I'll get to your games. I promise. But yeah, no, we streamed Tinykin. People really enjoyed it. I think it's just funny, goofy stuff all around. There's a satisfaction, especially to the ladder guys, because as you throw them at each other, they're just tick, 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 and they have this little pop noise they make as they connect. It's just tickles the brain in just the right way. I love it.
And if you like the Pikmin games, you'll love that.
It's true. It's true. And I do like me a good Pikmin. I have to finish 4. But that's not anything. We won't talk about that.
I started Pikmin, I think 3, the one on the Wii U.
Yeah,
I started the one on the Wii U. I really enjoyed it, but then I just put it down for some reason. I don't know why. Again, so many games to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pikmin 3 was a weird one. It was my first Pikmin. I didn't understand
that was my first one as well.
It's so good. I didn't understand how days worked in Pikmin games. Where if something was left there, you can go pick it up. So the first one was go beat the boss and bring home this fruit. I kept resetting that mission because I would get right outside my ship and then not get the fruit in. I'm like, damn it, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, you know what, screw it, I'm moving on. To then move to the next day and the fruit's sitting right there. I'm like, oh, I could just, okay, now again, I ended the day in 30 seconds after grabbing the fruit. I'm like, got it, now I understand how this game works. I don't have to do it in a day.
Yeah, I don't know if you played it on the Wii U or I don't know if they ported it by now, but
they did port to Switch. Yeah, I played on Wii U.
I played it on Wii U in that console. I had it, but I really rarely played it.
Yeah, no, it's in the closet there somewhere. I think I have the Pokemon Ranger games on there. Would love to get back to those.
It's still set up, but I don't use it.
Yeah, it's in there. Maybe one day the Wii U will get some respect, but I don't know if it needs it.
There wouldn't have been a Switch without the Wii U.
Honestly, you're kind of right though. You're kind of right. The Wii U walked, crawled, even stumbled and fell on its own face for the Switch to run. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, Tinykin. So Tofr, you on to your next one?
Yeah, I'm gonna cheat a little.
Oh,
no.
I'm gonna do 2 games at once.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about Mutazione and Saltsea Chronicles. Because both games are by Die Gute Fabrik, and Die Gute Fabrik is one of the most underrated indie studios out there. Mutazione is a mutant soap opera about life in your grandfather's community, while Saltsea Chronicles sees you take to the seas as your crew tries to find its missing captain. I picked both of them because they like. When I think of Die Gute Fabrik, I think of studios like Night School Studio and Don't Nod, studios who are like focused on the very human element within possibly fantastical stories, and Die Gute Fabrik are like on that same level, but nowhere near the amount of recognition that those two studios get. So I feel like I have to mention them both. I think it's too late to like really support them as a studio because I think they decided that they couldn't keep doing this,
right?
Because they just weren't getting the income from sales. But yeah, it is. But maybe we can like correct that now, but when we all go and buy these games and play them.
Yeah.
I did wishlist 2 games, so there you go.
I know I'm a culprit of both of these. I have I never knew how to pronounce it. I called it like Mutazzoni or something like that.
I didn't know how to pronounce that either.
But my buddy Josh, he's worked with Devolver, a bunch of other people to do indie game trailers. He sings the praise of this game all the time. And it's been one that's, I think I have it on Epic Game Store, and I've been meaning to play it and just never got around to it. And then seeing Salt Sea Chronicles, however I said it wrong, get announced. I'm like, that looks cool. I need to go back, and I just haven't. And then seeing the cyberpunk style image on Twitter, I'm like, no, that sucks. I don't want to see you guys like stop making games. But we talked before about the like, if I was just the one person on the planet who played it more and talked about it more, that I could have changed this whole thing. I'm like, that's illogical. That doesn't make sense. But yeah.
I mean, you never know. You could have talked about it and blow up online. That
honestly, you hope and dream, right? And
you hope it goes viral and like everybody sees it, but.
Send me viral. I want to be viral. I'm talking about these games. It's not about TikTok though. We'll talk about both of these and talk about the studio in the case and do like maybe if you buy it, we'll get a third one, a new game. Think about it.
Look, I recommended this game to my friend Daphne. Mm-hmm. She bought it. She played it. She loved it.
Oh yeah.
Like people be like Daphne.
Be like Daphne.
Buy the game. Yeah, buy the game. Play it. But buy both of them. Like they're very different stories. They both have these unique art styles that I haven't seen in any other game. They're written just so beautifully. Like no one writes human beings like Die Gute Fabrik does. Mm-hmm. And I really hope that all of these writers find places in other studios where they get to keep doing their thing.
Yeah.
Because
you can get a bundle of both games right now, 10% off. It's $40 for the two.
Yeah. So I saw that earlier when I was looking this up.
Give a little grabby snag. I actually might just have to buy the one because I own the second one, but hell yeah. I love the art style. We talked about them a little bit last week when we were, 2 weeks ago, we were doing our like indie devs made AAA, and we talked about doing like Life is Strange by them. I think that'd be a really cool one, but fingers crossed that studio's back. I don't think they ever like closed, right? They weren't like, sorry, we're gonzo, bye studio. They were just kind of in like we can't fund right now. We don't have the means, so we kind of have to stop, which I guess is a little less we quit.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I do.
If they do well,
right? Exactly.
Maybe, but like one of them, I think, has moved to Night School Studios now.
Oh no shit! Okay.
Which does seem like a good move.
Yeah. Night School. Hey, listen, Netflix, get that Netflix money. But alrighty. Maniac, what you got?
I got this horror game.
I see
called
that.
Rewind or Die. I tend to. So I don't know if you guys noticed this, but there's a very big uptick in indie horror games. I don't know
sure
if this
is.
Always been a thing, but that makes me play a lot of horror games because that's usually what I'm sent. And I've played some really good ones, and I played some really bad ones. Before this one, I played one that I hated so much. I was like, this game just needed a little bit more love.
Yo, you gonna name drop? You gonna name drop it? You gonna name drop the bad one?
I'm not gonna do that. I streamed it and I was trying to make it as fun as possible for my audience, but I was like, guys, I can't do this.
I've had those games. Yep.
I've played it. I played it for an hour. I try to give the games, enough time for me to lament on them. Mm-hmm. I try to play them as much as I can, but this one was just very bare bones. It was kind of like playing a Roblox game.
Oh, we love that.
And some of those are good.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean by comparing it to that.
Yeah.
And then I played this one right after, and I was like, this is how a horror game should be made. I literally said that. I was like, guys, don't do the first one, do the second one if you're gonna make a horror game.
So are you working out like a blockbuster type deal here? Is that what the narrative is, or?
Yeah, you're working at a video rental store, and like you get captured by a serial killer.
Oh, lovely.
And you're trying to escape from that. It's not like it does anything super crazy.
Sure.
But it's definitely very, very good in what it does.
It looks cool. Game. I'm not big on horror games like that. We recently played through all of the Fear to Fathom games.
Oh, I've heard of those.
Yeah, those are really fun. I think the fourth one kind of drug a little bit. I didn't love it, but this gives me those vibes, and I'm like, I could see myself enjoying this. Do you know how long it takes to beat?
I think I beat it in one sitting.
Okay.
So it was maybe like two-ish, 3-ish hours. So it's not that long.
Yeah.
And I think the team is rather small, if I remember correctly. I looked them up. They only have like not even 300 positive reviews. So. Okay.
Yeah.
So people like it. It's just, you know, there's so many horror games out there.
Yeah, there's literally so many. And again, like I don't even like cover horror games in that way, but there's constantly something new. And maybe I'm just outside. I'm like, I can really differentiate these. They'll kind of look like similar, but this one has that retro vibe I dig.
I mean, there's creators that just cover indie horror games because there's so many. You know?
Like Chris RV2. I told you, man, there's a lot of indie horror games. I know you like your horror games. If you're listening, I know you're sitting there at work listening to the podcast. I'm talking to you. Go play Rewind or Die.
It's pretty good.
I like the PlayStation 1 visuals.
Yeah,
that seems to be a new thing now with indie horror. They go for the PS1 visuals now.
Mm-hmm. We love it. Fucking Crow Country did a similar thing. I loved that one.
Such a good game.
Yeah. And to go finish it. I'm like, I saw it was like 5 or 6 hours to finish, and I was at like the 7-hour mark. I'm like, I gotta be at the end then. I gotta be like right there.
It took me a lot longer than I'd like to admit to beat it.
Yeah.
Because I got stuck and I died and all that stuff. But it says like 5 hours, and I'm like, I dive way over that.
Yeah. That's probably not. I'm gonna real quick, maybe honorable mention. Let's see if that one's doing.
That one's like doing very well though. Damn, that one did very well. I looked it up because I was gonna use that one.
Yeah.
But I'm like, they're doing well. They're doing great.
2,700. So yeah, they fall out of our thing, but 2,700 is not enough. Go play Crow Country and review it.
Yeah, play Crow Country.
Do y'all typically do Steam reviews? I don't, and I think I'm going to start because I always do the reviews and write them down and have like a whole thing for a video, but like I don't often leave an actual Steam review. Do you guys do that or?
I started doing that recently with games I play. I'll leave like just a positive review. It'll just be something silly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Game cool.
I don't think I've ever left a negative review yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't leave a review if I like the game as well.
Okay.
But maybe you should be like I notice a lot of the Steam reviews are like people posting, "Hey, check out my full review on YouTube." So maybe you could do that.
They do that.
Yeah.
Now we're thinking.
You could link your YouTube video.
Hold on. I'm about to go fill up the Valley Peaks one real quick. Valley Peaks, a Ranger. Hold on. I got a backlog now. Okay. Noted.
I also my content game. On itch.io, people do that as well.
Okay.
The game's on there.
I'm bad at using itch. I need to get on itch more. I'll grab an occasional one, and then like 10 months later, I'm like, I should check out itch again. Yeah, I need to do that.
It has a Devolver digital pet.
Pet?
Yeah, like a Tamagotchi.
No shit. Like, is it just like one specific Devolver like game, or like do I get to pick?
I think it might be Volvi, but I'm not sure.
Volvi?
Oh my god.
Yeah. Hold on, we're canceling this episode. I'm going to play Volvagotchi or whatever.
Play with Volvi.
And I think it's free. I think it's free as well. Let me check.
Oh yeah. But
Itch has mostly a lot of horror games.
Yeah.
It seems like mostly horror games that aren't coming to Steam.
We try.
True.
Yeah,
it's the virtual Volvi e-pet.
I love it. I wanna play the Volvi e-pet.
I'm gonna play that.
3-hour stream tomorrow. Be there. It won't be. Sorry. I guess stepping away from the horror, something a little more cozy and bright and vibrant. Me and Kenai played through this game last year, and it's called River Tales. It is a co-op adventure game where you play as Finn the fish and Furple the cat. Furple's lost and trying to get home. Furple the cat, trying to get home. And then Finn's just like, he has the cool like stick in his mouth, like pretend cigarette type deal that gets taken from him. He's like, well, that's my whole life right there. I need to get that back. So it's like a co-op 3D platformer where like you'll have to activate gates so Finn can swim through, or activate platforms so that Furple can jump across. Had a few tech issues towards the end. There's like a funny clip where like the boss like freezes and then launches to like the beginning of the map, and we're like, oh, okay. I don't think that was supposed to happen. But all in all, it's beautiful. The music's great. I think if you're playing as the fish, you have a little bit of a harder time because you are constantly being chased by these giant piranhas. And luckily, unluckily, I guess, I was the fish. And I was like, I got to be the cat. I'm so pissed. But no, this game's awesome. I love the art style. I should mention I had gotten a review key for it. So thank you to the team for that. But it's really fun. I really enjoyed this game, and it's supposed to have console ports. I don't know what that's going to look like because the initial release on Steam you had to do through remote play. So you don't get two copies. One person, you stream your game, the other person, they just kind of connect a controller. It's like they're connected to your PC. So I don't know if that's going to just mean it's only local co-op for console versions or what that's going to be, but regardless, really fun. Like you can knock it out in an afternoon. So fun time with friends, family, etc.
It looks gorgeous. It look like it's colorful. It looks like everything I'd look for in a co-op game.
Yeah, dude.
But I do believe that co-op games, like co-op indie games, don't tend to do all that well.
Yeah, they're tough sometimes. I think like I did a TikTok a while back where from was just like, there's just no co-op games anymore, and it literally was just me like, I got you, and then it's just a sizzle reel of like co-op games. And I'm like, you just don't.
There are a lot.
Yeah.
There's so many.
Yeah. I know.
I never played that one, but I saw it when it was releasing. I actually saw your list and downloaded the demo. So it looks good.
It's fun. It's fun. I think unfortunately the team didn't do great with marketing. I think they kind of and there's Best Indie Games on YouTube. He does a lot of things on Twitter. We'll talk about like marketing and why it's important to do one thing or the other. And he used them as an example where like they had announced the game on Steam. They were updating it semi-regularly, but they put the new trailer with the launch date on YouTube, but not on Steam. And then the Steam release date never changed until the game was out. So it was like a really weird, like people didn't know this game was coming out. I'm like, and yikes. And like, even if like 10 people find out about it through this or whatever VOD, like it's a good game. Would recommend it. Just come on, devs, push your new trailers on Steam. It's where it needs to go.
Market.
I heard
Especially
Humble Games
now
is great. Sorry, you're saying Tofr?
I was just gonna say that I do believe that like you really need to use Steam because I think the whole deal with demos has just changed. If you now have a demo on Steam, it has a separate page to the full game.
Yes, so I have noticed that recently, and I didn't know if that was just like people making a separate account for like their demo. I was like, that's gotta cost more money, but interesting. Okay, I dig that.
Yeah, so use Steam to your advantage, devs.
Get it, team. Tofr. Yeah, that's the order we went. Yeah, and your next game.
My next game is Beacon Pines. No one seems to have played Beacon Pines, and I don't get it.
I sent Maniac the doc, and he goes, "Yo, Beacon Pines shout out, let's go!"
But it's such a cool game. It's like it's set in within a storybook, telling the story of a town that seems to be hiding a terrible secret. It follows Luca and his friends as they try to uncover what's actually going on. And you do that by advancing the story, unlocking keywords. And those keywords can then be used earlier in the story to create a different branch, another timeline. And within that branch, you can find out new information, which you can then go back with and then change it again. And it's so good. It looks beautiful. It looks like it's like a fairy tale book. To me, especially with like Luca being tiny and his friends being tiny animal creatures. But it's so well written. The narrator is so good in this. And just why haven't people played this? I do wonder if the number of Steam reviews is low because it was on Game Pass as well.
I was gonna say, yeah,
it was on Game Pass.
Because I was thinking that with tinykin as well. I think tinykin was on Game Pass on release.
Yep.
And I do wonder how much of an influence that has.
If Xbox, and now I don't typically review stuff on console, just like never really the platform for it. I think just the other day I was looking at like PlayStation, like, would you want to review? Just sign in. I'm like, I could. I just never think to do that. If I could do it right in the console, I'd probably be more likely to. But it's funny, right? As I'm watching the beginning of this trailer, I'm like, wait, fuzzy animals? A giant hole in the ground? Is this just night in the woods? And then,
no.
Yeah.
It could be an episode of Gravity Falls. I'll give you that.
Okay. I have to watch that.
It's a very good game. I enjoyed it from beginning to end.
I'm sure you have more to say on Maniac. It's one of the ones I installed on Game Pass, and like it sat there staring at me, and I just never launched it. So I haven't played it yet.
Shame.
One day.
It's so well written, and the art style is just very pretty.
Yeah, I love the visuals. I really do enjoy the way it looks, and it's on that list of shame. Tofr have to force me to play it on a book club at some point.
Force him to play it.
We'll get it there. All right, chat, listen. Donate $200 right now over on my Twitch. We'll play Beacon Pines.
That's how you do it.
That's how you get them in. You set them up for that cash prize. Not even a cash prize. Just set them up for a value. Yeah, I got to get to Beacon Pines. I see the love for it. And like I didn't know about the word changing the timeline stuff. I just saw like the detective-esque kind of mysteries, reading the book stuff. I didn't know about the whole timeline changing thing, and that makes it even more cool. So I'm like, all right, hold on. I'm into this.
It's like if you grew up with like Gravity Falls or like the X-Files or stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is totally gonna be your thing.
I did not, but I still think it could be my thing.
It's still gonna be your thing. Trust me.
Bet. Cool.
I didn't, and it was still my thing. So there you go.
Okay. Cool beans.
Also, it was published by Fellow Traveler, so I mean.
Oh, well, it's gotta be good.
It's gotta be good.
We stand Fellow Traveler around here. We always talk about Fellow Traveler.
Yes.
Alrighty, Maniac, what you got for me?
The next game, the name is a little misleading. It's called Simple Game.
I'm going to assume I have the right one here. We're gonna find out.
It's very unknown, so you might. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool.
I was sent a review code for this game.
Okay.
And I was like, they reached out to me first, and sometimes when they do that, I'm like, I need to know if I want to play this.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at it on Steam, I was like, I don't know. And then playing it, I was like, this actually makes me think a lot, and I really enjoy finding out what's going to happen next. I haven't finished this game.
Okay.
But I have like a bunch of time in it, and I really do want to go back to it because it's not as simple as it seems.
I'm like, watch this trailer waiting for like the flip to be like, I'm always ready now for the Doki Doki Literature Club flip of things where I'm like, where's the darkness kick in? I'm waiting for like Grun to hit and be like, oh, there fucking is. There it is.
The description of the game is like, you have to find 5 apples and then you win the game. And that's the game. But it's really more than that.
Yeah.
And it's such a good puzzle game.
It looks cute. I think there's like a thing where like art style is a subjective thing. You like it or you hate it, but there's a lot that have like a very simple, like I just learned how to make a game style to them. They're not very full. Like the world doesn't look very full. And this one looks like it's intentionally simple visually. That does feel full. And I'm like, this looks cool to me. Again, I just mentioned Grun. We talked about Grun. I don't know, but we talked about the other day when I was streaming for Next Fest, Maniac. But like I was really into that one. And I didn't even get all the endings. And like this looks like you could get that vibe. Listen, does I have a date? I want to play some Grun.
But in this one, you definitely have to make sure you're like looking at every corner of the map. There are things. I don't want to spoil it, but there's stuff in like plain sight, but yet you don't see it.
I'm interested. It looks cool.
It only has like I'd say like 100 reviews. It's positive. It's like maybe 50 actually.
It has 20.
Yeah, 20 reviews on Steam.
But it's good. And thanks to the devs for sending me a key. I still have to get back to it, though.
Oh, look, Indie Maniac. This game isn't simple at all. The title lied to me. Positive.
I left a positive review on it.
I love that. I love the misdirection. Misdirection's cool in games. It's really dope. Let's see. My next one. Ooh, okay. This is another one. I got a key for this one a while back. Definitely see different vibes in our games.
Yeah, just going back and forth between vibes here.
I streamed this one a while back. It's called Spiritfall, and it is essentially a Smash Bros. Platform fighter like roguelike. And you play as this really cool like ancient being that you can change your weapons. There's a hammer, there's blades, and you fight through different Smash Bros like stages, beating up enemies, picking up level ups. There's 5 different like entities that give you different powers, or some that I think there's ice, there's electricity, all different kinds of elements. And then as you level up your kit, oh man, am I gonna play Spiritfall tonight? I might play Spiritfall tonight. But like I was in love with this. I've had such a fun time, and I think it just recently dropped in version 1.0. It's so dope. I think for people who like Smash Bros, but like you suck at it when you're fighting with your friends who are just that much better, this is a great like in between where you get those smash things, the up smash, the side smash. I forget if it has tilts or anything. But then adding those roguelike mechanics, you're just beating up on a bunch of mobs. Like this game's the shit. This game's sick.
This looks like something I'd play. I totally missed out on that releasing this year.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. I would totally recommend it. Like I said, I think early access was like probably early, like maybe first quarter last year. And then this just dropped officially 1.0 in February. But they've been updating it constantly. There's new weapons, new enemies. I haven't gotten past the 3rd boss in the game. And again, that was way back when it launched. So maybe I'm just that much better now. I'm like the GOAT, but it,
I mean,
it
you
definitely
play Souls-likes now.
It's true. I have beaten End Platinum and Other Crab's Treasure, so I'm kind of the big deal. I have. I'm pretty.
I still have to play that game.
It's so much fun. It's great. I loved it. I think the accessibility option of the gun was great because I never used it for a boss. But like, there's a clip out there where I'm trying to climb up the side of a building, and there's just one crab in a bad spot where I can't jump, and it kept knocking me off. And I like died. I'm like, that's it. I'm pissed. So I ran back up there, put on the gun, bang, took the gun off, and said, all right, let's keep going. And it just, I was like, it's great. Another Crowd Treasure is awesome.
That's amazing.
But that's got to have more than 2,000 Steam reviews. So I was going to say, don't play that one, but please still play it. But
play it.
As we cycle back around, Tofr. Oh, this next one, Tofr.
Yes.
Oh, your next
you
one.
You like
Tofr.
That one, don't you?
I like this one, Tofr. I like this one a lot.
And I had to include at least one deck builder because I really enjoy deck builders. And when I researched deck builders for this list, I noticed that Floppy Nights sits at only 250 reviews on Steam. That's insane
to me.
What are you doing? We love
How
Floppy
is
Nights.
that possible? I don't get it. Like
I wonder if it's back to the Game Pass thing, because I know I played this initially on Game Pass and I just got it for free on Epic Games Store like 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, I gotta get back to it. But
I just don't get it. Like it's from the the artwork is by the same person that did Dicey Dungeons.
It sure is, dog.
And Dicey Dungeons has lots more reviews than this does. And the thing is, gameplay is just as much fun.
Yeah.
And like, especially within a genre where most games try to be like Slay the Spire, Floppy Nights isn't afraid to do something completely different.
Yeah.
You like it mixes traditional deck builder elements with like the kind of tactical battles that you can have in like games like Wargroove or games like that, and it should get so much more love, especially now that the board game version is coming.
Yep.
Well, that sounds cool.
Damn. You played Floppy Nights at all, or know a Floppy Nights Maniac?
I downloaded it on Game Pass and still haven't played it. I also have it on Epic, so I have to play it somewhere sometime eventually, you know?
I need to look up a guide this afternoon on how to put Epic games on my Steam Deck, because then I think it's game over. Then it's just that I have it on the go.
Yeah, all my Epic games that I get for free just sit there for a while.
Yeah,
and,
I just so rarely play them. Yeah. I know. I think maybe I've bought and played like 2 or 3 different games in the Epic Game Store. That being said, hey, use code CGDannyB at checkout and use the Epic Game Store. Appreciate it. But no, like I picked up Shoulder of Giants on Epic Game Store, and that was a really fun one.
Played that one. It's pretty good.
Yeah. I don't think it's coming to Steam. I don't think it's on Steam just yet. That might actually be this month or it was last month. It was one or the other. But yeah, no, Floppy Nights, man. I love the art style. I love the writing. I did the Steam Next Fest demo for Trial Period 3 years ago or something like that, and it's a vibe. Floppy Nights is great.
It's also one of those games where the humor actually works. It's actually funny.
Plus, Carlton, I think, is the name of the arm. Your freaking robot arm dude.
Think so.
What a guy. What a great friend. Let us see. All right, Maniac, back to you. What you got? This is round 4? Yeah, we're on cycle 4. Bet.
I'm kind of cheating with this next one.
I can see that.
It's like
what do I do with this paragraph?
It's not a paragraph. It's a dev/publisher. I saw 2 names on Steam. It's Stately Snail / Nine Eyes Game Studio. I don't know which one it is.
Okay.
But I've covered the 3 games I put in there. I've covered on my channel. They've sent me keys for all of them, and I feel like they're very underrated.
Okay.
They're more simplistic games, but they're definitely a lot of fun. Like Don't Touch This Button, Mask of Miss, and Is This Game Trying to Kill Me? The most recent one I played is This Game Trying to Kill Me? And it's the one you're showing on the screen, Don't Touch That Button, I played a long time ago, and it's kind of like one of those puzzle games where it's like it shows you something on the screen, and it's like, listen to this, but it's not really telling you what to do exactly, kind of thing, like Stanley Parable-esque thing. And all their games are like not that long as well, so you can probably finish them all in an afternoon.
Okay.
They tend to seem to gravitate towards like quote unquote simplistic puzzle games that are still very fun and enjoyable in my opinion.
I mess with that though, because I looked at the list, they said Don't Touch This Button. There's a different game that's something about not touching the button, and I thought that's what this was.
Oh yeah. That leans more into the Stanley Parable.
Okay.
Stuff. That one actually has a narrator, the one you're thinking of. I played the demo for that one. That one's hilarious. Don't press the button, I think.
Button.
I forget what it's called exactly.
Button City. I don't immediately see the one I'm talking about. I'm sure someone out there's like, Danny, it's Don't Press the Button 3D Cataclysmo. You know what this is, dog.
But do not press the button to delete the multiverse. Is it that one?
Oh, I didn't think that was it, but that is probably another one.
Oh no, that's another one. That's one that hasn't released yet.
Okay, yeah, the one I'm thinking is like a big station, like a big monitor, and there's the big red button in the middle, and like that's the one I'm thinking of. But I now don't know the title of it because I thought it was just Don't Press the Button.
I covered all 3 of those games on my channel. I enjoyed them very much, and I looked at their Steam reviews. I'm like, these are insanely low for like the art style is usually nice. Like I think Mask of Miss looks pretty nice.
This one's got me.
They have another game. I forget the name of it that I was looking at that I haven't played. It's on their Steam page. It's like a dungeon crawler-esque game.
Okay.
And the art style is so visually appealing. It's the second one, not the first one.
What, the One More Dungeon 2 or?
Yeah, One More Dungeon 2. I need to play that one. That looks so good.
Okay. Ooh. Yeah, I'm digging the vibe here with the just seeing the sets and like the creatures and everything. I think there's a vibe with its art style I really dig. Like I said, I thought totally different game, so I'm not familiar with Stately Snail here, but I think I'm about to be. I don't know,
and then Is This Game Trying to Kill Me is the most recent game I covered from them. And it's another puzzle game, but like you go into a computer that affects the real world as well.
Ooh.
So you go into a terminal that also affects the cabin you're in. This guy says, I've basically captured you, and you have to escape the cabin. Hence the name, Is This Game Trying to Kill Me? There's a demo for that one.
Yep.
That I have.
It is in the library now.
I'm really excited for that game to release.
Yeah, I was also checking out the list before we got in and did some stuff. I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. I'm not familiar. And I'm like, this was not out. And I saw like the preface, however you want to say it. But yeah, I think just looking at the art style for Stately Snail now, I'm like, I'm a fan. I'm in.
It's wild that they made so many quality looking games, so many quality games, and they're just not well known, you know?
Yeah. But they're about to be after this episode of Playlog, baby.
Exactly.
Great time to remind you guys. Hey, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe in the video, or leave a 5-star review on Spotify. It really helps not just us grow, but also more people find these indie games. So appreciate you.
Yeah, there you go.
Do it for the games.
Do it for the games.
All the games on Steam.
Yes, that's also very important for the team. That helps them a lot. Even if you're not going to play them right now, it helps more people find it. But no, thank you for showing me these because these are now on my wish list. These look awesome. What's the cycle? Oh yeah, it's B. Yep. I had to keep going. I'm like, did I skip Tofr? No, we did Tofr. It's round 4. Okay. This is one I got a key for a while back. That was one of those like out of the blue key mailer. Like, do you want to check this one out? And I'm like, I might. But then I'm like, yeah, okay, I dig this. So it is a 2D platformer called Triple Take. And I was always explaining it like, imagine playing Mario World 1-1, and each time you beat it, they took away platforms, they added new enemies, and you had to run it again. So like there they show like you have to run each course like 3 times, each one getting more challenging. And in between each like set of worlds, there are these like rooms where you're seeing these weird characters that are kind of just like talking to each other and telling you weird things. And it gets what I mentioned earlier, that like Doki Doki Literature Club type deal. I thought my computer broke. That's part of the game. Okay. But it does that. It does that where you get these pop-ups of like, oh, what's going on? There was a point where it's like, could we get this file? I'm like, am I being hacked? Can you? And then like I had to pull up my Finder to get a thing out of a folder, and I'd like go delete a bad guy so that the guy could like live. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? What is this? But it's really cool. I haven't gone back to finish it yet because it is hard. It does one of those like, difficult. Yes, the levels weren't so bad, but it does those like aggressive like geometry dash type boss rush puzzles that I'm like, I want to put my head through my desk so bad right now. I'm so over this. But the 2 worlds I got through were really cool. And if I ever have just the drive to be punished again, maybe I'll hop back in. But I'm sure the people out there who are much better at platformers than I that could probably like really fuck with this. But it's really cool. If you guys like your
reminds me of a series called, I think it's called Love, and there's like 3 of them. It's a difficult platformer I played recently, but I haven't played this game specifically.
Yeah, Triple Take's cool. I'm not familiar with like just LOVE or.
I'm trying to see if I can. Yeah, LOVE. There's 1, 2, and 3.
Let's do Love 3.
I think one of those was free on Epic a while back.
Shit, I might own it. Ooh, I do like the art style of these ones. Hold on.
Yeah,
at least I'm looking at 3 specifically, but
I played I think 2 or 3 at a convention I was at recently, and I'm like,
okay.
I dig it. It's hard, but I dig it.
Yeah, these are cool. Damn. Too many games, not enough hours. We need longer days. We need longer days, guys.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, on to Tofr. Talking about a game I don't think we've ever discussed on the podcast at all.
This is a real hidden gem.
A real hidden gem, but also, yeah kind of. But Tofr, what we got here?
This is 1000 Times Resist. Another fellow traveler published gem. This is Sunset Visitor's debut game, and it's one of the most astonishing feats of storytelling that I have played in years. It tells a story across thousands of years, following the consequences of an alien invasion on Earth. It manages to pack so much into like a 10-hour playtime. I think it's it's about 10 hours. It's just the kind of sci-fi that I like, where you have like these world-ending events, but actually it's a story about humans. And this is a story about humans that fought to live in their home country, didn't manage to stay, had to flee to a new country and started all over again there. And then their daughter apparently is the only person who is able to resist this disease that comes with the alien invasion. So she becomes the sole survivor of the human race. And she becomes the All-Mother who creates clones of herself to like try and start over.
Every time you explain this game to me, I'm just like, this is a wild mess. There's so much happening with the All-Mother and everything. And like, you've told me already, and I was like, yeah, I got to check this game out at some point. But then I believe our friend Jenny Wyndham, she had tweeted out about like how much she enjoyed her on Instagram story. Recorded a podcast with Dave Jackson this past week from Tales from the Backlog for a future episode. We're 1,000 times. I keep saying 1,000 X resist. That's how my brain functions. But like, I'm like, fuck, I gotta play this game soon. I have to. It's gotta be one that I gotta play before the end of the year, because like it's gotta be in Game of the Year discussion. If like I gotta at least play it to know if it's gonna be there, you know. And damn it, I feel like it might. But
I was actually sent a key for this game, and I still gotta play it. So sorry about that. I'll get to it.
Someday. They get it. We get it, devs, right? We're just busy. Yeah. We're busy folks. You know what I mean? But y'all still got us in like 7.
I can say just treat yourself to this game. It's such a delight. Yeah. And I know the way I describe it is really messy, but the thing is the way they tell the story or the stories, it works so well. And the payoff in the end is just...
It looks. I was ready for you to say like I tell it messy, but they tell it even messier, dog. Like they...
There you go.
Man. This one looks sick. It looks dope.
It does look very good, and I will play it eventually.
Yeah, gotta get on it. Gotta play it soon.
Is
it on Game Pass?
I don't think that one is.
No.
Okay.
I think that's just on Steam.
Cool.
If I'm not
and
mistaken.
Switch.
Is it on Switch? Okay.
You know what? Yeah. Maybe that'll be an excuse to use this freaking thing.
Yeah,
I do have a skin input on it. I got the Steam Deck. I'm just like, why even? You know? But
yeah,
maybe a good excuse. Maybe we'll force ourselves to use the Switch again.
I know I keep harping on about this game, but I feel like it's like you say, it should be in contention when it comes to games of the year.
Yeah.
And it's just not getting the love that it deserves. Like the critics are all about it, but it doesn't translate to like sales figures.
Yeah. I know we'll tease them for the end of the year. We'll do a Game of the Year conversation episode, but we also talked about doing like the Jeff Keighley Awards and switching all of the nominees for indie replacements. And I was thinking about the other day, I'm like, I'm excited for that episode at some point here, right? To be like, I see they put on Final Fantasy, but they really should have put insert whatever other indie JRPG came out this year that I can think of type deal. It's gonna be a fun one. I'm sure we'll put 1000 X Resist in for probably something narrative related or something, at least like one or two times. So that'd be a good one.
I personally don't agree with some of the lineups at the Game Awards.
Correct.
But, you know, it's one of those, like, I would say it's more AAA-esque award shows. So
yeah. That being said, the Indie Awards are this year. We're finally getting the Indie Awards with the 6-1 guys and the guys over at Vicarious PR. So we're gonna do right by indie devs. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
But sorry, I interrupted you again there, Maniac.
No, I'm just saying, like, they get all these backers, so they have like an obligation. You know, when money's involved, when it's a bigger production, it seems like it gets more and more annoying, I want to say. And less and less about the games, more and more about, you know, money.
Yeah, I think I enjoy the Game Awards. I enjoy the spectacle every year. I'm not one who kind of finds a reason to complain, but I do find, like, I forget what it was this past year where there was like, I think all the indie awards were like those in between cutters of just like, the team's not here. So like, real quick, the winners are these people. And I think it might've been the Sea of Stars guys. Like they won something and they were in the audience to accept the award, but they just made it a quick, like, hey, we're back from commercial, Sea of Stars, congratulations. And then moved on. I'm like, they were right there. Give them their time.
There was the controversy with Dave the Diver.
That too. Yeah.
Nominated for Indie Game of the Year. And everybody's like, they have this massive backing from $1 billion corporation. Are they really indie then?
Yeah.
It's just kind of like the art style is pixel, you know?
Yeah, that was a weird thing. I ended up just breaking. I'm like, I enjoyed Dave the Diver this year. I thought it was indie until I knew it wasn't. I'm like, I like it because of the vibe, but I won't, in normal conversation, be like, yeah, this is my favorite indie game. Because it's not, legally speaking, but...
And it's hard to pinpoint what is and is indie because everybody has a different descriptor of what that is. You
exactly. Know? It's pixel art, guys. Pixel art equals indie.
Pixel art equals indie.
However, 1000 X Resist. We'll get there. We'll do it. Promise someday.
Yeah.
However, Indie Maniac, it's your turn for your 5th and final game before we just do our little collection here. But what you got for us?
I hate to make you edit more, but can I take 5 real quick?
Oh my god!
I just have to use the bathroom, and I'll be right back.
Who hydrated you?
I hydrated myself, and I didn't know it was going to be over an hour.
Here you go. My bad, Doug. Yo, pop off. Go do your thing.
I'll just be right back real quick.
Yeah. Then I'll just jump over to mine then, and we'll do that. So, Tofr.
Okay.
You know, there's this game that I really, 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 really enjoy that I didn't play until this past year. Let me find it. I think for fans of things like Undertale, this is the game people should check out, and it's called Meg's Monster.
I hadn't heard of that one before I saw the list.
I remember seeing it, and then I got a key for it, and Man, what an adventure I had with this one. I was crying. I was sad. Essentially, it takes place in this world underground where like all the monsters are disposed. There's monsters in the world, and we're like, get them out of here, send them underground. We don't want them here. And then you have the humans living above ground. One day, this girl Meg, she falls down into the monster world, and you play as Roy, who's kind of like, I don't like humans. I like to eat my monster sludge. That's all I'm gonna do. But you have to get her back up to like where her mom is and get her back to her mother and explore all these different things. And the combat focuses around a combination of actually fighting and then making sure that Meg doesn't cry, because the frequency of a kid crying like hurts monsters. So you want to make sure she's not like hurting you. So you'll collect like toys. There's crayons in a coloring book. There's a soccer ball. There's all these different things. So in the middle of a fight, you'll see her like courage go down. Or I forget what the meter is. Then you give her the item and she's like, okay, cool. And you increase that again. It's almost like a healing item in a way. I'm like, that's really cool. I really dig the way that worked out. And just by the end, I was bawling. We streamed through this game. Man, what a time. I really enjoy. Another one where I'm like, it's fun. This is a really fun one, but it has one of those emotional stories behind it that I'm like, I got a little sad in some points, but it's gonna be okay. We're gonna make it through.
Cool.
Yeah.
It seems like it feels like it could be in like the same family of games as Undertale and In Stars and Time.
Yes.
Is that, am I seeing that correctly?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think if you like Undertale, if you like In Stars and Time, this has a very similar vibe to it. I think it hits that same kind of note. Again, the combat's a little bit different, so you're not doing that, but I think that's what makes it stand out. Also, the color palette, very different. No, I think it does hit those spaces. I think when we played it, I was like, if you like Undertale, I think I played this before when Stars and Time came out, but I think if you like either of those games, like Meg's Monster is another one that's very similar, and it'll get you with another story that I think, like, please play it.
Okay.
I need people to cry with me.
I'll cry with you.
Please, go play Meg's Monster. You can cry with me.
What did I miss here? Just
I just jumped over to mine real quick. Said Meg's Monster, another one that I think is really cool. Definitely worth checking out for anyone who's just like, dude, I need to cry today. And like, some of the reveals, you're like, oh my God, this is happening. It's really cool. I love it. I love it. Now I can do this and then, hey, Maniac, that was cool. What game you got to talk about?
So after the release of Lethal Company, there's been a lot of games that are very similar.
Okay.
And Sketchy's Contract is one of them that I've enjoyed a lot with my friends playing co-op.
Okay.
There's a lot of differences, and it is able to stand on its own as compared to just being like, this is another Lethal-like, or whatever we're calling them now.
Lethal-likes. I like Lethal-likes. I'm not familiar with this. I didn't realize it was because there's Lethal Company, there's Murky Divers, there's Content Warning. I was not familiar with this one, so another Lethal Company clone. We dig it. We love it.
It's a little easier than Lethal Company. And you have, there's a level up system, unlike in Lethal. You get guns, you get shrink rays, you get stuff like that, like cool technology as well.
Okay.
And there's a claw machine that you can play and stuff like that.
I mean, I like how much more there is. Like, we've been playing some modded Lethal Company lately, and like that's fun. The mods only like after you do them so long, like waiting for new mods to kind of mix it up more. And this seems like a good avenue if I'm like, I want to try more Lethal Company, but mix it up.
There's the shrink ray right there, and you can turn people into stuff with it.
Hell yeah. Nice. This looks cool.
You can also revive your friends when they die. There's a med bay. So it's not like Lethal where you're just dead until the day's over. Okay.
Oh, shit. I don't know if I love the monsters, though. I don't like him running at me like that. Oh, no. I hate him. Whatever that guy was.
Go through, so you start on level 1 of the facility, and you can go downwards to like all the way to level 3.
Okay.
And you have to find codes to open subsequent levels.
Okay.
And you can either choose to stay there the night, and it'll get scarier overnight, and you can get more loot, or you can leave and come back.
Gotcha. Okay.
Ooh, so I think it does a lot of its own things. That's why I think this one deserves more attention, because it's like Lethal Company, but it's not.
Yeah. I'm down to try this one. I don't have to convince the guys, dude. $9 is not my deal. Okay.
If you want to play it, I'll play it with you.
Listen, I could be down. Let me look at the schedule. I don't know if that'll happen. But hey, we talk about it. Too many games.
Too many games.
Hold on, let me wishlist that bad boy. I don't know. I know you kind of had that as a list there. You had like, Murky Divers, a bunch of them kind of split up. Mm-hmm. Is there one of those you prefer over the others? I know I've done Lethal Company, Content Warning. Those are the two I've tried. I've been a little more onto Content Warning than Lethal Company, but
right. I have like over 50 hours on Lethal, modded and unmodded, so like that's my first pick. And then that one we just talked about. I didn't really care for Content Warning as much.
Okay.
It's fun, but like it's not something I'll go back to crazily.
Okay.
And I've been playing recently Murky Divers and Pilgrim.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard of Pilgrim.
By name, but I've not like seen it or anything, but yeah.
Pilgrim is like you're escorting a carriage to a city.
Oh, okay.
So it's more medieval Lethal Company.
Cool.
Another one for the wish list.
And like you make stops along the way. There's like a shop area you can stop to buy and sell stuff. There's there's dungeons you stop at and go in and explore and stuff like that.
Bad, dude.
And it's just like one long journey. So as you're going along, you can still revive your friends as well.
Yeah.
Nice. Can I just say that this episode is ruining my wish list?
I would say that, but I'm still sitting at 755 games, so like the list ain't small regardless.
I will say Pilgrim is the one that's most early access of them all.
Okay, so kind of just like basic bare bones, or
the sound is very buggy. That's the one thing we noticed when we were playing. Like the sound is laggy at times, or it'll just like dip in and out.
Yeah,
but it is a fun experience despite the flaws.
I'm cool with it. I dig it.
And it's in early access, and the dev is making money. They are.
Good deal.
Hopefully they continue to update it,
Very positive, so we'll take that. We love that. Let's see. I know we're going long. We still got to talk about what we've been playing, so we'll kind of move along here. Tofr, you want to quickly run through like your honorable mentions of sorts? I guess if you want to do like the game in like a sentence or so, and then we can.
Sure. There's Grindstone, which is this colorful puzzle game that's so much fun.
Grindstone's cool.
We've got Norco, which is this dark, brooding story, kind of visual novel. I have Thirsty Suitors on here, which is basically Asian Scott Pilgrim.
That's the way to describe it. Okay, I like it. Yeah. I like it.
We have the Collage Atlas, which I've talked about in a previous episode, which is this hand-drawn, dreamlike walking simulator. Mm-hmm. And last but not least, we have Doki Doki Ragnarok, which is a dating visual novel where you are a Viking who, instead of pillaging villages, you date them. The villages, not the people, the villages.
You date the whole village.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Talk about polygamy, am I right, friends? Now, are we personifying? Is this like building relationships? Am I dating the village as an entity? Okay, cool. That's all I needed. Got it. Yep. Got it. Yep. Bet. Hell yeah. How about you, Mac? You want to hit me with your honorable mentions here? I don't know what we're looking for.
One of my mods on Twitch and Discord wanted me to mention Cavern of Dreams.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
I haven't personally played it yet. It's in my library, but I want to talk mostly about games I've played myself.
Yeah.
But she was like, this game deserves more attention. I'm like,
it does.
Sure, I'll bring it up, but like I haven't played it myself. It's kind of like a cutesy 3D platformer.
Yeah. I think for Banjo. Yep. I was gonna say fans of Banjo and Spyro. Good one.
Yeah. But I haven't played that one. So she recommended that one. And then the next three are ones that I'm currently playing in between, kind of. I'm playing a horror game called Conscript. Which is like a World War I-esque horror game, so it's a very real horror game. It's literally the horrors of war.
Oh.
And it kind of reminds me of Amnesia: The Bunker.
Okay.
In the setting, because you're in World War I, that one was like an underground bunker as well. Mm-hmm. The only difference is in Amnesia: The Bunker there was an entity that was trying to kill you, and now it's humans. It's war.
Damn. So I think I got an email about this one. I never really followed through on it.
Yeah, I was sent a key, so that's where I got it.
I bet.
And then the next one is Chasing the Unseen. This one's a little older, and I finally got around to playing it now. I played the demo when it originally dropped.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize what I was going to get myself into when I played the full game. It is very, very precision platformer. And
okay.
I have some redeems on my Twitch channel where the chatters can be not so nice, and they were doing that the whole time, and I was struggling my way through this one, and I'm still in the middle of it. It's sitting at mixed reviews on Steam, but I enjoyed my time with it personally.
Yeah, I remember talking about that in the upcoming releases video, and then seeing the reviews, and people were lukewarm on it, loved it or hated it, but not one I've got my hands on yet.
Mm-hmm. And I was sent a key of that one as well, so thanks to the one guy that worked on that game. I appreciate it. The last one I have here is a game called Flock.
Hmm?
I think this is the only wholesome game. I think it's the only wholesome game I'm going to be talking about. You kind of this one can be played co-op, so I played this one with my mod. The co-op's a little weird though. It's kind of like we're just existing in the same world.
Okay.
We don't progress at the same rate. He was progressing a lot quicker than I was, and by like close to the end, he was like, "Hey, if you need something, just come over here," type thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
So at first we were just doing our own thing. We just existed in the same world and we're playing a game together.
Bet. And yeah, Tofr, I've been talking about playing Flock at some point here.
It's fun, but it becomes a little tedious closer to the end when you're trying to get all the stuff.
Okay.
We haven't finished it. We got close to it though.
Okay, noted. Tofr, we're knocking out an hour.
I mean, if you're helping each other, you might knock it out quicker. We were kind of just doing our own thing.
Competitive Flock. Don't you touch my birds. Don't you touch my birds. Hell yeah. Real quick for mine, I have Mayhem in Single Valley. It is a top-down-ish adventure game where you're like moving out of your town after it gets like poisoned and everything's all mutated and stuff. It's just a fun, goofy one. Islets, a Metroidvania by Kyle Thompson. They're also working on Crypt Custodian, coming out soonish. I forget the date on that one.
I got a release date.
It did. I forget what the release date is. Is that August? When is Crypt Custodian?
I just retweeted it if you want to find it.
I actually have Steam right here. Let's do that. August 27th. Got it. Good to know.
Yeah, pretty soon.
I was working on my August release video. Forgot to include that. So now we will. But yeah, Islets is really cool. I got a key for that one a while back, and I fell in love with it. I think it was probably the most I felt invested in a Metroidvania since Hollow Knight originally. I love the art style. It's just so much brighter. So that's a cool one. 2D and Top D. It is a platformer that is both 2D and 3D. You play as two different characters, and you can swap the perspective. So Top D can move platforms around, and when you switch back to 2D, 2D can then use those to jump, and then you'll pause, switch, move it again. It's a really cool one. I'd say I got a key for that one, but I won it in like a raffle as opposed to like, here's a review key type deal. But just in case the FTC's up my ass. Time Loader, I got that one from Tiny Build. You're basically playing as like a toy like construction car, and you're trying to maneuver around the house through timelines to figure out what happened to like your owner, your kid. That one was really cool. That was like I think a 2021 release that I was like, oh cool, I didn't know about this one, but I enjoyed it. And then last one I have is Retro Gadgets, which I've only played the demo. I need to get back to, but after seeing Mech Builder this past month, Retro Gadgets is like front of mind. It's just, you're at a little virtual workstation, you're rebuilding Game Boys, controllers, I think a Steam Deck's in the new trailer, just a bunch of like different tech stuff. And I don't know how much it'll teach you about actually building actual shit. But yeah, taking out motherboards, plugging things in, soldering on junk. It's really cool. I like that one. And I wanted to put that on there because I need to encourage myself to at least play more of it than I ever have. So.
Yeah, I saw the Mech Builder game and I sent that to my friend because he really loves mech games. And I'm like, this is definitely for you. You're going to be able to build your own mech.
Mech Builder is fun. I put so much time in the Next Fest demo. I played through the whole thing on stream. Like, oh shit, we have a 3-hour stream. Let's put like an hour of it into building these mechs. My bad, team. My bad, y'all. This is fun.
There was a lot of demos though, so
there's a lot of demos.
Can't cover them all.
Exactly. I'm gonna take up that merch plug other than just saying, hey, if you like merch, shop.spreadshirt.com/CGDannyB, links in the description. Trying to monetize, get a cool Playlog podcast shirt. I was gonna do a whole thing, but we're already at an hour and a half, so we're gonna try and power through here.
Where's my Playlog shirt?
On the Spreadshirt, the Spreadshirt website. Go buy it. I need to get one for myself too. We'll talk about it when I order it. I'll just get an address. We'll ship one your way. Cool. We'll cover that. Real quick, we'll probably spend a little bit of time in here, but kind of fast forward a bit. Tofr, what you been playing this week?
2 games, and the first one is Vampire Therapist, which is phenomenal. It reminded me of Dream Daddy for some reason.
Okay.
Which is a dating visual novel. Vampire Therapist is a therapy visual novel. That doesn't seem to be a big fan of Americans, I have to add.
What? What's wrong with us?
There's a lot of things wrong with us. Right?
Yeah, the game doesn't seem to have a very high opinion of Americans, despite the main character being a rootin' tootin' gunslinger vampire. I just love saying that. I'm sorry.
A rootin' tootin' gunslinger vampire.
Yeah. The thing is, most of their dialogue options within the game are thought discrepancies.
Okay.
So you are a vampire being taught by another vampire how to give therapy to other vampires.
Huh.
Yeah. And you've got these vampires, like some of them are a couple of 100 years old, others are really ancient, and you have to help them with their struggles. And it's basically like real life therapy, where some of them will allow you to help them while others will resist it more, and you have to find the ways to help them by pointing out these discrepancies in their thought processes. Okay. The therapy part of the game has been developed with actual therapists, and it really shows. As someone who has been in therapy for the past 7 years, I can really say that they've done their homework on this.
Nice.
The voice acting is a particular highlight.
I saw Matt Mercer.
Matt Mercer is in there, and there's actors from like the Hades games as well.
Shit.
Yeah.
It's a stacked lineup then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Damn, and why'd I give you the key for this one?
I actually got a key for this game. I still have to play it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just a little... I was like, is there voice acting? Because, in visual novel games, there's usually a lot of reading. And it hurts my voice after a long period of time to just keep reading and reading and reading. Yep. I like when they have voice acting. So I'm glad to hear that.
Yep.
There's voice acting, and it's really good voice acting. It does help that the writing is just really good as well.
Hell yeah, dude.
The something that really interested me in this one was how the game explains how you can be kind to yourself despite the things you've done in the past without shying away from the consequences of what you've done.
Gotcha.
For example, these people are vampires and they have killed people to survive. So they could be like, I'm a killer, but they find ways to be like, okay, I have been a killer in the past. I don't need to be a killer now. And to move on from that. It does raise like interesting questions, like how much can you explain away? Because killing people is pretty big. But it raises interesting questions, and I like that about this game.
The thing with that is they live forever too, so like they have to deal with that guilt forever. That's probably like a personal hell, honestly. I would feel like if they feel the guilt, that is. Some might not.
Those hooligans.
Pretty crazy.
Vampires eating blood. I bet they were Americans they killed too. That's crazy. Who would fathom?
Who would do such a thing?
Hell yeah.
And the cool thing is as well is that like during conversations you have 5 options to choose from to be like, this is this kind of thought discrepancy or this kind. And once you've played this game, you'll be using that knowledge in real life constantly.
I'm a professional therapist now. Let me in. I'm just gonna now let
you're labeling yourself. That's not good.
Oh no, this seems dope. I know I have totally unrelated. I have robotherapists sitting in my library that I haven't touched yet. But like we got an email about this one quite a fean months ago. I'm like, are you interested? You're like, yeah, I'm interested. So we finally got that key. I sent that your way. And I'm like, damn, shit, I shouldn't even ask. They're like, let me play. But I ain't had time for that. So, no, I'm glad you're enjoying it. It definitely seems like one I want to circle back to then and check out. That sounds really cool.
It is really cool.
Hell yeah. For brevity's sake, how about you tell us about Garden Path then?
Okay. The Garden Path is a beautiful hand-drawn slice of life sim, which has been 7 years in the making by a solo developer called Carrot Cake.
Oh yeah.
And it sees you arrive in this beautiful, if slightly overgrown garden. The garden has been left behind by the previous gardener, and it's up to you to like make it into something beautiful once again. It's one of those games in the similar vein to Animal Crossing New Horizons or Cozy Grove, in that you play like for half an hour each day. You just complete a number of daily tasks, which see you meet different characters. Most of these characters, for some reason, are vegetables, but okay.
You can't call them that.
But it's a game that just it asks you to take your time with it.
Yeah.
Like, and when you start the game, it doesn't hold your hand at all. You have to figure things out on your own. But it's just like with gardening in real life. You take your time with it, and then it blossoms into this beautiful experience. And like, I've been waiting for this game for quite a long while now, but it's totally worth the wait. Totally.
Hell yeah, dude. It looks really cute. Again, another one we got a key for, so shout out to the team for sending us that, so you could check that one out. This is gorgeous. I do love the art style a lot. I didn't know it had the like daily Cozy Grove Animal Crossing thing to it, which I'm like, oh, even more interesting. This is cool. I love the way this looks.
I do have to add, sadly, there were a couple of bugs still in the review code. I'm hoping that those bugs will be gone when the game releases.
What kind of like bugs? Like graphical things, like freezing, or like what's the?
It's game ending bugs. Like there are these molehills that you can inspect, and when you do that, the game just fades to black.
Oh no.
Yeah, and then for example, another bug that I have on my Steam Deck playthrough is that I was running around and I had pitched up a tent somewhere.
Yeah.
And I was going back to where I had pitched it up, and it wasn't there. But then all of a sudden, it popped into the screen, and now I'm stuck, and I cannot move. Yeah, and the thing
you're
is,
like stuck in the tent, but like in it, just like oh no.
Yeah, and the thing is, you can't go back to a previous save, so I have to restart the game now. Sadly.
Oh, that's awful.
But the thing is, I will, because it's that good.
Sure. Damn. Yeah, hopefully that sounds like stuff that I would imagine a 1.0 release day patch will hopefully fix for that, because that sounds that does not sound fun. That sounds terrible. I hate that. But hell yeah, dude. No, all the good things about it sound great. I don't know. Is that a Game Pass one? Is that coming to Game Pass?
No.
Okay. I feel like I got to ask about every game. Like, is that coming to Game Pass? I feel like I heard that somewhere.
Come to Game Pass.
Yeah. But Bet, now Maniac, you've got a list, my friend.
Where are we starting here?
I will allow you to tackle it as you see fit, as many or as much as you want to do. I don't know what your timeline looks like. I don't know how.
I'm gonna lump these two together here.
Bet.
We're gonna do. I played. So one of these games, I was replaying it.
Okay.
And the other game I finished for the first time. Mm-hmm. That's the Forgotten City and Slay the Princess.
Okay.
If you have not played either of these games, you should play them.
Yeah.
I really enjoy. So the writing, top notch, so good. I think most people know about Slay the Princess. That's a very recent game. The Forgotten City's a little older. It was nominated for Indie Game of the Year when it came out too.
Okay.
But it lost at the Game Awards. But it lost to I forget the name of the game right now. But it lost to another game that I actually haven't played.
This was 2022.
2022, 2021. I forget which year it was. But this game is kind of like 12 minutes with the time loop mechanics. It also has time travel though. So like if you mess up, it'll loop back. I'm not gonna say how or why, but once you get to a certain point of the game, you're like, oh, I can loop back and start over and do better.
Ooh.
Like I can slowly learn the information that I need to know. And there's I think 4 endings, and there's only one true ending.
Yeah.
Which just unravels a whole thing. You have to play it. It's kind of like a mystery time travel time loop game.
Yeah.
Because you start in modern day, but then you go back to it's either Greek or Roman times. One of those two, like in between. I think they were telling about. So in the game, they talk about how Rome just fell, It was just lit on fire. So around that
tussle.
time. This is one of my top 10 favorite games, as well as Slay the Princess, because the writing is just so good.
I don't have time. I don't want to. I don't have time.
The world building and the characters, it's just these are masterpieces.
Okay. Hell yeah, dude. It looks like if it was 2021, it would have lost to Kena Bridge of Spirits.
Yeah, that's what it lost to.
Which was some tough competition.
Very pretty game.
Yeah.
I just haven't played it.
Yeah, it's a hard one. It's more challenging than I expected it to be. And I want to go back and get the platinum, but I don't know if my soul can handle it.
And apparently Slay the Princess, they're updating it apparently. There's going to be more content.
Yes, so the pristine cut is coming out.
I don't know if that's free or if you have to pay for it, but I will pay for it because I want to go back to that game. It is such a great game.
Yeah.
I want to imagine the Steam one will just be the massive update, and I think the pristine one is like what will be the console release, I think, if that's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, yeah.
Another one Tofr's told me about. It's on the wish list. It's got to happen. I just keep going like, maybe for the book club. We'll see.
That would be a good choice.
Yeah, you fun one, dude.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys played either of these games, but you at least need to play one of them.
Yeah, Slay the Princess is the one that's immediately on my radar of ones to get around to. I remember seeing the announcement and being like, interesting, I wonder what it is. And then people at whatever convention that was being like, I got my hands on it. Dog, it ain't what you think. And I'm like, ooh, okay.
Not at all. I got 2 separate endings, and there's still like 4 more that I could get.
Okay. Oh shit.
There's so much more. So much more.
Yeah. It is so well written. Voice acting's top tier. Everything's good.
Yeah, and the thing is, Black Tabby Games, the developer, they're also working on Scarlet Hollow, which is another horror game, which is in early access because it's episodical, and I think they've released 4 episodes so far.
Oh shit.
And development for that is on hold now while they focused on Slay the Princess. But the thing is, if you like Slay the Princess, Scarlet Hollow is just as good.
So after I finished Slay the Princess in I really dived into that game. I played that game for like a week straight on stream. Nice. And then right after I started Scarlet Hollow's demo. So I think I only played episode 1.
Okay.
But there's no voice acting, so it was very tiring.
Gotcha. Hold on. Tabby, Scarlet Hollow. I don't know Scarlet Hollow.
They were less known for that game by a long shot than Slay the Princess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Slay the Princess is basically gaslighting the game.
We love it. Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss. We love it.
I highly recommend both those games. I don't ever give games 10s, but I'd say they're at least a 9.
Take it. We love it. Hell yeah, dude. Those both sound awesome. What else you got for me?
Well, I already talked about Conscript, and that's on my list. So we
we can see that one. We already talked Conscript.
We touched on that a little bit. I'll go through Valley Peaks. I think you played that one.
I sure did. Did my review over at youtube.com/CGDannyB.
I was having a time with that game. I played the demo, and some of the early mountains are pretty easy. I'd say like once you get to like level 4 or 5 mountains, I was like, I'm falling. I'm just constantly falling. And I was like, guys, why do you make me play these games? I was talking to my chat. I'm like, guys, why do you make me play these games where I just hate my life? But it is a lot of fun. It's just very precise platforming. There is also like an easy mode. So if you don't like the precise platforming, it's very, very tame to play that mode. There's a normal mode and then peaceful mode or whatever they called it.
I got really into Valley Peaks. Again, got a key for this one. Did an early review. I think the first night I was just in it and I didn't want to stop. I had mentioned in my review, it was one of those like 15 more minutes. Let's climb one more mountain, get this done. And then I'm like, well, if I climb another side of it, I'll get a full stamp so I can get an upgrade. So I might as well knock that out, which turned to another 15 minutes and another 15 minutes. I really enjoy Valley Peaks. I think, I don't know that it'll stay in like my top 10 for the year, but I think in terms of like a cozy mountain climbing game, I think it really hits on a lot of different notes. I think it's a really enjoyable one. I definitely had like some of the struggles you mentioned are like, it was too hard. I couldn't get this way. I often came down, I played with mouse and keyboard. And I'm like, my hands are freaking done with this WASD garbage. I hate it so much. But I was committed. I'm like, I can't switch the controller now. Now I have to relearn the controls. So I'll stick with mouse and keyboard. But it was a lot of, let me stop tonight, come back tomorrow, try again. And then usually at that point, I'm like, cool, first time the next day, knock it out in the first run. I'm like, cool. It literally was just me like, I can't do this tonight. I have to move on. Yeah, really got into Valley Peaks.
My one mod called it cozy getting over it, and I'm like,
it's exactly how I described it.
That's how I feel right now. I'm like, I'm playing getting over it, but it's cute. Like,
I think that's literally the intro of my video. I'm like, basically a cozy version of Getting Over It by Bennett Foddy. Valley Peaks, something. Yeah.
But it's a good game. It's just
great.
If you're playing it on normal, be prepared for precision. You might fall.
Did you jump to? I jumped to cozy to capture some footage of the intro, but like I don't think I played enough to see like what made it simpler. Do you know what makes cozy simpler than normal, or
which one?
For Valley Peaks, like go into cozy mode as opposed to normal mode.
Oh, so like I jumped to that, and it's very easy to grab it's not as precise with grabbing stuff. It's like you basically have it. I tried it.
Okay.
It felt like I was like, oh, I just need to go. Like that's it.
Fair. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I think I only did the first like 2 mountains, which are already pretty easy. I'm like, I don't really see what makes this easier, so I would have to like kind of play through the full thing to see, but I got it.
But I was sent a key for that as well, so I appreciate it, Dev.
Good team over there.
Remember to say that.
Yeah, FTC. Get him, not me. I said I got my key.
I said just a little late.
What else we got in here? We already talked about Chasing the Unseen.
Yeah, I have Night of the Dead.
Yep, Night of the Dead. Okay.
I played this. I think this is the most recent game I played. I was sent a key for this as well. I got to remember to say that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like part tower defense at night, part survival crafting during the day.
Yeah.
I was not expecting the tower defense part at the night time.
Huh.
So I went through the whole day like, oh, this will be fine, and
then got attacked.
Someone in my stream was like, you weren't using your time wisely at all. You're gonna die. Even on normal mode, you're gonna die. And I'm like, it can't be that bad, right? 200 zombies swarmed me, and they just kept coming.
Shit.
They did not stop. I killed about 150.
Yeah.
And my companion died.
No.
And then they destroyed my whole base, and then I died. And I'm like, I gotta start over.
Interesting. This has given me those Once Human, 7 Days to Die kind of vibes to it. Or what was that really bad game that got canceled in like a week? I can't remember what that one was called.
I know what you mean. But,
some of the comments could remind us.
The day before?
The day before, yes.
Before.
That one, yep. It's giving me those vibes, but hopefully not the day before. Bad.
It's a fun game, but you have to be prepared to get your shit rocked right away. It's co-op as well, so.
Bet. This seems like a time. I think I could enjoy. Like, survival games typically aren't my thing, but I think the tower defense part might make it a little more interesting for me. I could see like a fun weekend with it. I think would be probably my speed for a game like this.
Yeah, I only had 2 traps set up. Was not prepared for like a whole horde.
Yeah. What, is that a fucking house on wheels? What is that? What is that?
Yeah, it's a wild game. Like there's so much stuff you can do. I just didn't do it because I only had I had 1 stream and I was like, all right, I'm going to continue playing this, but I'm going to start over because I was not prepared for this. Even though you guys warned me, there was someone in chat warning me. I just didn't think it was going to be as bad because I was playing on normal.
Yeah. Hell yeah. This looks sick.
It's fun.
Then we want to talk about Chained Together real quick.
Yeah, we could both talk about that.
Let's talk about Chained Together. You know, actually, let me pull up the VOD. Let's do this. Tell us about Chained Together. What is this game for the 10 people who don't know?
It's like Only Up, but you're tied together. Basically what it is. It was an interesting time playing with the 4 of us this previous weekend.
It sure was. Hold on, I'm listening to myself scream. Don't do that. But yeah, so it is all these obstacles. You said we're chained together. I think something that became like one of the biggest obstacles is depending on where you land, your weight is all pushed. Also, we killed that fan, never got us once. We're that good at it.
Yeah, that was the best part.
But I think if you're playing with 2, you're only countering like your own weight versus when you have 4. If I think a chain it was me, Maniac, Metal, and then Kanai, like in that order. So if like me and Maniac landed and then Metal fell, Metal's weight might pull Kanai off with him. So then those 2 both fall. So then now we have 2 people falling and 2 people trying to stay up. And if Maniac's close enough to the edge, that's another pull where now it's 3 being pulled down, 1 up. You're like, I can struggle as much as I can, but eventually this isn't going to work. And then we would fall back to the bottom. We're like, let's go again.
And And then there are like some bugs where you just slide off the ledge out of nowhere. And I was like, guys, you got to pay attention to your feet because they're just like butter.
Yeah, that did happen a lot. I think it's one of those things in the moment you're like, fuck, I'm so angry that this is like what's happening. But you also at the end of the day got to be like, oh yeah, that's what kind of game this is. Like the frustration's meant to happen. And if you're not like planning for that, it's like, oh, sorry, I wasn't thinking.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I even messaged after, I want to be sure any like streamer rage wasn't like a genuine like, God, I fucking hate these guys for ruining the game. It was just like funny, we all died, but like generally had a fun time with it.
We all had a good time.
Yeah,
we got. And someone didn't know there was checkpoints at first. I had to tell him.
Melissa, hey.
So we were starting at the beginning every time we fell.
Listen, we were discussing like, do we want to do the regular part? Do we want to do the full? Like we were kind of on the fence. And then once we got so high up, I'm like, I don't want to do all that again. Then we're just like, okay, respawn at the highest spot. I will say, I am probably the best in the world at the car parts. I'm pretty fucking good.
Yeah, you were pretty good at the car part. I didn't get to try the car part.
You're right. We went to fall, and I'm like, oh, if we fall low, if you go again. So next time we get to a car part, you have to go first. But
I think we should play it again, honestly.
I'm down.
If you ever have the time.
Yeah, it'll definitely be one of those like Saturdays when we played it out. I just weddings and other shit coming up. I'm like, I don't know what my Saturdays look like. I know this one's Path to Teal Lotus for a game that needs some advertising. But But no, I'd love to circle back. See, there goes metal. And see, now you can see the part I'm talking about where it's like once they're all down, you're like, what's going to happen? Are we good? Are we going to make it? And then Maniac happened to swing back in. We're like, oh man, that shouldn't have worked. But and there we went. And then we're just and we are
those logs. I hated those logs.
Logs sucked.
I think I had a nightmare about logs that night.
I honestly, I probably did too, but I probably just wiped it from my memory because I'm like, I can't think about these logs anymore. I'm good. I don't want any more logs. Oh man. Well, I think that was Maniac's list, so I'll quickly go through mine real quick. I this weekend got to play through the game Thank Goodness You're Here. Nice. I got a key for that one, so thank you very much to Pop Agenda for setting me up with that. Anyone doesn't know, it's basically like a 2 to 3 hour untitled Goose Game adventure of you just helping people with British accents. You were just running around this town, and like it's so funny because the game starts with, hold on, let me find the screenshot. For this. I need captured. Thank goodness you're here. Footage and pull up the image. It is it asks you basically like here it's loading. Here. Ada from Tarn. And it's like, they're right. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And like, this is how the game starts.
I'm sorry, what?
And I'm like, I was tempted to go with dead right because I kind of understood what was being asked, but I don't know what. Ada from Tarn. And I want someone to tell me what that means.
Yeah, I have no idea.
But I went with, okay, sorry, what? Just to see. And I assume they kind of like, if it's anything like Still Wakes the Deep, they give you the English translation of things. So if you're just like listening, you're like, and they're slapping you with words like, I don't know what any of that means. The subtitles are just like the English, like, oh, I tripped and fell on my knee. Like they'll just tell you what it is. You're like, got it. But yeah, it's only you just wandering around this town. People need your help as you walk in. You're like, oh, thank goodness you're here. I need help cutting my potatoes. Oh, thank goodness you're here. My cow's feeling sick. There's a very weird section where you have to milk this cow.
What was that cow?
Exactly. It's very strange, and it gets a little bit weirder after that. There's this poor guy. I felt so bad for him. You see a clip there where you like fall through somebody's chimney. I think I fell through his house like 5 times. And each time like you land, he's like, oh, sorry, love. You can get on out of here. I'm just going to clean my house. And he'll do it again. And then as he's finishing cleaning, you fall through again. He's like, oh, well, I guess you could just come in here whenever you want. All right, I'm going to clean again. Get out. And like the 5th or 4th time, he's like struggling. He's like cleaning up. He's like, please don't. Not again. There's a whole cutscene where he like walks away. He's like cleaning himself off, changes his clothes, sits back down with the newspaper, and you come in again. He's like, he's frustrated at this point. But it's all these funny, just like slapstick, goofy moments. Your only action is to walk around and to slap. Like it's all you can do. There's one dude who's like running a food truck whose just ass is taking up like the whole window, and you bet your ass like jumped on there and just like smack. He's like, hey, stop it! And he was like, he's so embarrassed he'll close the shop, and it's like right there, a closed shop for bum smacks or bum smacks or something like that. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. But It's goofy. It's really short. It's literally like maybe the length of a movie. I will say I think the very, very end, like the literal like climax of it felt really quick. It just happened. There's a really cool like story mission type deal that leads into it, which is dope. So I'm like, this is awesome. If it ended right after that, I think I would have been more satisfied, even if it had like the period on it. But it is going from here to like, here's where you started, now we're ending. Thanks for showing up. And then credits roll. I'm like, I didn't love that. And maybe that's more of like a British humor thing that's like, oh, this is typical in a British comedy or whatever. But that didn't quite hit for me. That being said, the whole time, it was a fun, goofy afternoon. I really like this one.
Yeah, there's the British office and then the American office.
Right.
The British office is way shorter.
Yeah.
They like to wrap their stuff up, so that's
sure do.
That's pretty normal.
Yeah. And then after Thank Goodness You're Here, I got to check out another demo this week. I'll pull up my footage here. This game is called Slash Quest. I discovered these guys on Twitter. Sorry, you guys are hearing Kanai through Discord. My apologies. Mute him. Don't talk. Stop it.
Stop talking, please.
This is always so great when it goes smooth, and then I have to close like 14 windows, and I'm like, oh, you guys just watch me fucking flounder. The people listening are going to hear the chaos. But essentially, it is this top-down adventure game where you play as... The sword's name is Swordy. I didn't get that from the game. I must have missed it. So I tweeted out, I'm like, this is my new friend Swordbert. I don't know if that's his name, but it is, and I love it. Swordbert. But it's really just two controls. You move with the left stick, and then you spin with the right. And it's like very propulsion-based. You kind of like move forward. I'm on the wrong scene. We're not even seeing each other. But you just kind of... You run forward, and then you turn yourself with the other stick, and you're just beating up enemies, taking out fruits and different kind of obstacles, and then you're activating new gates to progress. I think the demo had 3 levels, if I recall, and I had a really good time with it. I really enjoyed just how simple it was, and the art style is really charming. You meet these other characters. You can upgrade your weapons. As you beat different enemies, you'll like upgrade Swordy. He gets longer and longer and longer. So sometimes there's like a secret gate on like the other side of like a gap that you can't reach. So you have to go beat up enemies, and as they die, Swordy just gets longer, 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 and then you can reach long enough to plug him in, which will activate the gate, and then you move to the next area. The demo's on Steam. This one drops, I think it's like August 15th, so in just like half a month. It's fun.
I downloaded myself.
Yeah, I recommend check out the demo.
Right here in my library.
Yeah, go for it. It's a fun one. It only took like an hour or so to play through. But this seems like a great one for Steam Deck, where I just like lay back, watch something, and just exist in this world. It wasn't too challenging. I don't know if you can die. Well, I guess you have health, so you can. I never died. I never felt that challenged. Like it was like too much of an effort to put in. But it definitely felt like just goofy and enjoyable. I'm sure it'll get more challenging as you go, but it here's me just cutting up every fruit. I'm like, I don't know if I have to, but I'm going to. You'll get a chest, get some health upgrades. It's a cool one. When I tweeted out, the team was like, his name's Swordy, but Swordbert's cool too. They've been commenting a lot of my tweets lately, liking my stuff, and the team seemed really cool. Their social media manager, at least. So you guys are awesome. Keep up the great work. I'm excited for this full one. Let me know if you want to send some keys our way, because I'm cool. I hang out with my buddy Swordbert.
They were asking about content creators. I commented on it. I'd play this game. It looks great.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like, even check out the demo, get a feel for it. You can see here, like, there's like this pedestal I'm talking about. We kind of got to reach, but it's currently blocked. So they have to complete some objective or whatever and turn that bridge. And you'll get like clouded areas. You have to move forward and get all that. It's simple. It's not like a whole lot to it. But like what is there, like, it's just fun. Again, I love the word charming, because I think it just hits like what I genuinely enjoy in my art style. I was sold on seeing the character designs, and then once I'm in, I'm like, the gameplay, whether it's hit or miss, even if there's like something tedious about it, I'll still get into it because of how pretty it looks. And this one was one where I enjoyed the gameplay enough. It's so simple. And then I was like, look at these characters, look at these smiles, they're so cute. Yeah, very fun time.
I felt the same way when I saw this game on Twitter, like you did. I immediately wishlisted.
Wishlist, baby. Put it on there. Get it. Let me see. We're going to W key a little bit here. Timestamp. Real quick, we're going to talk about the indie games releasing this month, or this week. We're talking August 1st through August 7th. First off, we have Thank Goodness You're Here, dropping on August 1st for PlayStation, Switch, and PC. Again, just spoke about that one. Thank you for the key. Go wishlist it. Next up on August 1st, we have Kitsune Tales, dropping on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. Then we have World of Goo 2, dropping on August 2nd for Switch and PC. Closer the Distance on August 2nd for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Fields of Mystria on August 5th for PC and Early Access. And then Volgar the Viking 2 on August 6th for PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. Any of those calling out to you guys that you're looking forward to?
I think Closer the Distance looks interesting.
So I gotta look back at. I don't know if I know that one.
I have to look that one up. I haven't heard of that one.
Closer the Distance.
I have it wishlisted. How do I don't remember this?
I don't have a wish. I mean, I have it wishlisted.
I mean, now I have it wishlisted. He says.
Ooh, hold on. I kind of like this one. It's giving me like Moonglow Blade is not the right descriptor for this, but
it's a slice of life. It looks cute.
It's got that slice of life. I'm seeing what was the one from the team that did Inside Somerville, I think is the one I'm thinking of.
Oh yeah,
Somerville. Yeah. That reminds me a lot of that, mixed with like We Are OFK.
Oh, We Are OFK. I love that.
That was a time. That was a time. It was a good time. Oh yeah, no, Closer looks cool. Was you Maniac? And the other ones here grabbing you? You're just like, fuck these indies. I don't even like
mean, my name's just the Indie Maniac. Thank goodness you're here. I requested a key for that one, so
okay.
I'm able to check it out.
Yeah, dude.
I'll check it out either way. I played the demo during the Next Fest. I really enjoyed it. It's my one friend joined in. He's like, "Have you played this demo yet? I know you're playing demos today." I'm like, "No, I haven't. I didn't even know there was a demo." And he's like, "Download it now and play it.
Yeah.
I want to watch you play it. I want to see how you react to this nonsense that this game is." Yeah, and it was nonsense. That's for sure.
Oh, it's so good.
The one on this list that I'm most interested in. I know World of Goo is a good one. I never played the first one though. But...
Yeah, I went back and played that one on Switch. I remember that. I did the motion controls of that one. World of Goo is a cool one. I might I don't want to jump on that right away. That seems like maybe a down the line on sale type deal, but yeah, I definitely think Thank Goodness You're Here is probably like the top runner on this list for me.
Oh, there's a demo for World of Goo, the first one.
Oh shit! Get in there, team.
Might have to play it.
You got it.
And now it's wishlisted.
There we have it. But there it is. Let us know in the comments which of these games you're most excited for. On to the next section, we have our viewer favorite indie games. Don't forget, as we round out each episode, you can write in and tell us what your favorite indie game is, just like developer of Just Keep Running, V Swede, did this week to tell us about their favorite indie game. It depends, but all time, it still has to be the beginner's guide. Yet to find a game that is that emotionally fueled, made me cry multiple times, changed my life, banger. Tofr, we talked about this one recently because it was on my list of shame. I played it on stream. Man, was I a changed person after playing this one. Everything inside of me hurt. I was so sad. I cried. Like I was the VOD's out there. I was bawling at the end. I'm like, fuck, dude, this got really fucking sad. But it's another one of those cases of like, great games don't have to be fun. Like, they could tell like a great narrative, and this one did that. The beginner's guide does that.
Absolutely. Yeah. It shows that it's from the same developer that did Stanley Parable, and that it just shows how should I say this? It reminds me of like the developer seems to have this knowledge of how humans work.
Yeah.
And how they struggle to work.
And we struggle a lot.
Yeah. Like I struggled with that sentence. I was trying to prove my point.
Perfect. There's an example right there.
Yeah.
Have you played this one, Maniac? Are you familiar with the beginner's guide?
I really, really, really like the Stanley Parable.
Okay.
I played it once it got the new version.
Yeah, deluxe whatever.
Version.
Yeah.
I fell in love with that game. That game is amazing. It's easily in my top 10.
Yeah.
And then I saw the beginner's guide. I bought it instantly.
Yep.
Still haven't played it though. So
it's a good one. I think we knocked it out a night. I'd say we on stream, drag it out, talking to Jack, etc. Probably took us like 4-ish hours, but you could probably, if you're just playing it, knock it out in 3. I was a guest on the Overthinking Games podcast, and they have a thing. If they bring you on, they will gift you a copy of the game if you haven't played it. So shout out to them for getting me the game. And then also fuck them for giving me that game. God damn it. That hurts. Yeah, dude, it's a great one. I'd suggest it. It does a lot of really cool things with like behind the scenes of game development. And then, man, just grab your heart, rip it out, and stomp on it at the end. I felt like so bad. And like, no spoilers here, 'cause people just go play it. But It's a time. Definitely recommend it.
Absolutely.
That's your homework for this week. Go play the Beginner's Guide, Maniac.
I guess I'll play it on stream this week.
Hey, we got him. We got him, team.
I'll cry on stream. They won't see it.
Shit.
But I'll cry on stream.
You gotta cry for
that. They'll hear it.
I'll just be like, guys, I'll turn on my camera.
just a mess.
Solitary tear.
If you did the whole stream with no face cam, but just put on like the crying, like running makeup, and then just like in silence, just turn the camera on, and you're just like there. You're like, oh my god, what happened? That should be crazy. But yes, sweet. Thank you so much for writing in with another great one here about Beginner's Guide. Don't forget, you can write in, tell us about your favorite indie game. We always love talking about what you guys love. And with that, after our 2-hour and 10-minute podcast, we're finally ready to wrap this bad boy up. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, especially the Indie Maniac. Welcome to this lump of chaos that we brought in here. I appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate you having me. I'd definitely come back if you need me ever.
Absolutely. Listen, with the cycle of guests, we'll bring them in. We'll bring them around all the time. For the people out there who may not know you, and this might be the first time they're finding out about where they can find you, where can they find you over on the internet?
They can find me basically anywhere. I'm on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it now, just at the Indie Maniac.
Oh yeah, there we have it. Tofr, once again, partner in crime. This is great. Where would the people find you on the scrubby webs?
They can find me as Play Nice Kids with either dots or underscores between the words on all of the social media things.
Absolutely. And then, of course, at CGDannyB is your home for Playlog Podcast and other indie game recommendations. YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, whole 9 yards. And with that, it's time to get some lunch and freaking relax, because this has been an episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget we'll be back every Thursday right here for some more Playlog Podcast. And we'll see you in the next one. All right, quick, Maniac. Make some like insult to the viewers. Some mean.
Wait, you guys suck.
Got him! Let's go!